Chapter 1334. Only after entering the Clear Wind Mansion did Mo Qingyun realize that the interior of the mansion was actually a completely different world. At a glance, there were dozens of courtyards of various sizes. "Brother Mo, we'll part ways now." Looking at the courtyards, Lu Yanghu patted Mo Qingyun's shoulder and entered one of them. "Brother Mo, good luck." After Lu Yanghu left, Cha Zue cupped his fists at Mo Qingyun and rushed to another courtyard. Seeing Cha Zue and Lu Yanghu's actions, Mo Qingyun did not stay idle. He immediately chose a courtyard and rushed to it. While Mo Qingyun and the other two were moving, the others did not stay idle either. They all entered different courtyards. After a while, Mo Qingyun arrived at a courtyard planted with green bamboo. Heavenly Thunder Bamboo. Looking at the green bamboo in front of him, Mo Qingyun's expression suddenly changed to one of ecstasy. Heavenly Thunder Bamboo was not only a material for setting up the Grade 4 Heavenly Thunder Array, but also a rare material for refining pills. Apart from that, refining the lightning energy of the Heavenly Thunder Bamboo could also help one comprehend the power of lightning. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and prepared to dig up the Heavenly Thunder Bamboo. At this moment, just as Mo Qingyun was about to dig up the Heavenly Thunder Bamboo, 3 figures suddenly appeared in the courtyard. Mo Qingyun frowned when he saw the sudden appearance of the 3 figures. His expression turned grave. These 3 figures were Tan Yu and the other 2 who had been tailing Mo Qingyun. "Kid, you don't have the right to own this Heavenly Thunder Bamboo. Captain Lu was protecting you just now, so we couldn't do anything to you. But it's different now. Time is precious. Don't waste your breath on this kid. Finish him off immediately and then go fight for the treasures in Clear Wind Mansion." Looking coldly at Mo Qingyun, Tao Chuyang and the others no longer hesitated and immediately attacked Mo Qingyun. "Humph. It seems that the 3 of you have forgotten the lesson just now." Looking at Tao Chuyang and the other 2 who were attacking him, Mo Qingyun's lips curled into a sneer as he uttered these cold words. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Tao Chuyang and the other 2 immediately trembled and hesitated before Mo Qingyun's attack. It couldn't be helped. The memory of Mo Qingyun activating the Array Formations attack was still fresh in their minds. Xing Wushuang shot a fearful glance at Mo Qingyun before curling her lips in disdain and saying, "Kid, now that the Clear Wind Mansion's formation has been broken, can you still activate the formation's power?" Hearing Xing Wushuang's words, Tan Yu suddenly came to a realization. She revealed an evil smile and said, "Brat, I was almost fooled by you. Because of your current actions, I will make you die even more miserably." As soon as Tan Yu finished speaking, he and Xing Wushuang attacked Mo Qingyun once again. Seeing Xing Wushuang and the other 2 attack again, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly. His gaze locked onto Tan Yu as he said coldly, "Although I can't kill the 3 of you, I can still severely injure one of you." Heaven Fire Sky-Breaking Halberd. Mo Qingyun swept out with his halberd, creating a crescent-shaped halberd light that immediately blocked Xing Wushuang and Tao Chuyang's footstep. Under Mo Qingyun's halberd, Xing Wushuang and Tao Chuyang's attacks were interrupted by Mo Qingyun's halberd. After blocking Tao Chuyang and Xing Wushuang's footsteps, Mo Qingyun's movements did not stop as he blasted a finger at Tan Yu. Middle Point Killing Finger. A huge finger shrouded in black smoke instantly appeared above Tan Yu and bombarded him domineeringly. Under the demonic power of the huge finger, Tan Yu instantly felt his heart tremble as an instinctive fear rose within him. If it were not for the fact that his cultivation was much higher than Mo Qingyun's, the power of Mo Qingyun's finger would have been enough to render him powerless to resist. "Open for me!" Tan Yu shouted angrily as he quickly waved the long saber in his hand and slashed at the huge finger. Then, a green saber light blasted out from Tan Yu's saber like a bolt of lightning. Qi, however, when the saber light hit the huge finger, it directly passed through it and did not affect the huge finger at all. Seeing this strange scene, Tan Yu could not help but narrow his eyes as a strong sense of uneasiness rose within him. Bang! Just as Tan Yu was feeling uneasy, the huge finger blasted his chest domineeringly, creating a violent impact of spiritual energy. Under the impact of this spiritual energy, Tan Yu's body was directly sent flying and crashed into a wall of the small courtyard. I don't have time to play with you now. Once I've collected all the treasures in the Clear Wind Mansion, I'll take my time to deal with all of you. After succeeding in his attack, Mo Qingyun did not continue to fight with Tan Yu and the other two. Instead, he left while he was ahead. To Mo Qingyun, if he did not expose He Xian and the others, he would not be a match for Tan Yu and the other two. Moreover, it was not wise to fight with Tan Yu and the other two at this time. If he missed the opportunity to obtain the treasures because of this, it would be a great loss. What he needed to do now was to collect the treasures as quickly as possible and raise his cultivation level and strength. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, his figure disappeared before the eyes of Xing Wushuang and the other two. Seeing that he had been tricked by Mo Qingyun again, Tan Yu's expression turned ferocious as he roared at Mo Qingyun's back. "Damn brat, I'm going to kill you!" Tan Yu roared furiously and wanted to chase after Mo Qingyun. Xing Wushuang hurriedly pulled Tan Yu back when she saw his actions. She said in a low voice, "Tan Yu, that brat is full of tricks. It's not wise for you to chase after him alone. What we need to do now is collect the treasures as quickly as possible." Tan Yu suppressed the anger in his heart when he heard Xing Wushuang's advice. He agreed with Xing Wushuang's suggestion. Seeing that Tan Yu did not chase after Mo Qingyun, Tao Chuyang smirked and walked to Tan Yu's side. He said with a smile, "Brother Tan, you don't have to be too angry. The three of us have snatched that brat's Kuan Sky Lightning Bamboo. I'm afraid he'll be even angrier." "Haha, that's right." Tan Yu's mood immediately improved when he heard Tao Chuyang's words. He said anxiously, "Since that's the case, let's not waste any more time. Let's dig up the Kuan Sky Lightning Bamboo immediately." While Tan Yu and the other two were digging up the Kuan Sky Lightning Bamboo, Mo Qingyun arrived at another courtyard. This courtyard was slightly different from the other courtyards. At first glance, there was nothing inside other than a shabby little house. Sizing up the small courtyard before him, Mo Qingyun revealed a puzzled expression and stepped into the small courtyard. As soon as Mo Qingyun stepped into the small courtyard, he felt a strange wind blow onto his body. This wind was very gentle, but it made Mo Qingyun feel as if he was deep in the sea, unable to control his body's balance. What a strange courtyard! What a strange wind! Discovering the strange feeling on his body, Mo Qingyun revealed a surprised expression. He looked around and said, "The wind in this small courtyard is coming from that little house. It looks like this little house is not simple." Chapter 1335. Creak. The door to the hut was pulled open by Mo Qingyun. As the door was pulled open, rays of glowing runes appeared before Mo Qingyun's eyes. Runes! Looking at the runes before him, Mo Qingyun was astonished. He was even more curious about the hut. Not only was there a strange wind blowing out of a rundown hut, there was also a rune. Wasn't this very strange? Looking at the runes before him, Mo Qingyun began to study them, thinking of how to pass through the runes and enter the hut. As for breaking the runes, Mo Qingyun didn't even think about it. From Mo Qingyun's point of view, with the runes blocking the way, he wouldn't have to worry about being disturbed when he entered the hut. The runes within the hut weren't complicated. It was just a very ordinary level 4 rune. Its grade was even lower than the Azure Tyrannical Flames rune. Therefore, it wasn't difficult for Mo Qingyun to control it. Several hours later, under Mo Qingyun's continuous attempts, he finally succeeded in controlling the spirit formation. Then, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, passing through the runes and entering the hut. After entering the small room, Mo Qingyun couldn't help being startled, a look of astonishment appearing on his face. There was actually a dry well in the hut. As for the strange wind, it came from this dry well. What's at the bottom of this dry well? How can it produce such a mysterious wind? Looking at the simple and unadorned well before him, Mo Qingyun's brows were tightly knitted together. The curiosity in his heart had reached its peak. Soon after, he circled the mouth of the well and carefully observed it. Perhaps because of the erosion of the wind, a portion of the blue stone at the mouth of the well had been weathered. After sizing up the well, Mo Qingyun leaped and directly jumped into the well. As soon as he entered the well, Mo Qingyun felt a strong resistance. Under this resistance, Mo Qingyun was actually suspended in the well, unable to reach the bottom of the well. What a strange well! Mo Qingyun was shocked by the current situation. He circulated the immortal spiritual energy in his body and continued to descend to the bottom of the well. About a quarter of an hour later, Mo Qingyun finally made it to the bottom of the well with all his strength. What the hell? Mo Qingyun had just reached the bottom of the well when he sensed tiny lightning arcs around his body. Under the corrosion of these lightning arcs, Mo Qingyun felt a weak numbness on his skin. In addition, Mo Qingyun also saw a passageway at the bottom of the well. It seemed to lead somewhere. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun took a step forward and walked into the tunnel. However, the wind in the tunnel was too strong, and Mo Qingyun could not move forward at all. After discovering this, Mo Qingyun no longer persisted. A thoughtful expression appeared on his face as he said, "From the looks of it, if I want to enter the tunnel, I must comprehend the strange wind force in the small well and become immune to it." Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun cast aside all distracting thoughts and sat down at the bottom of the well to understand the strange wind at the bottom of the well. As Mo Qingyun comprehended the strange wind, he entered a strange state. It was as if he had become one with the world of wind. Then, a mysterious force was emitted from Mo Qingyun's body. This force was similar to the strange wind in the well, but it also surpassed the strange wind in the well. In short, it was extremely mysterious and wonderful. After an unknown period of time, Mo Qingyun suddenly stood up and slowly walked around the bottom of the well. Mo Qingyun's footsteps seemed to be very slow, but they were ever-changing, giving people a feeling of being unable to see through him. Gradually, as Mo Qingyun walked, he unconsciously used the traceless demon shadow. Furthermore, he had fused that strange power into his traceless demonic shadow. After merging with the wind, the traceless demon shadow's speed and transformations immediately increased, and its power increased by several levels. This was a complete qualitative change. At this moment, if Mo Qingyun used this movement technique, even a true immortal realm expert might not be able to catch up to him. Then, the resistance of the wind in the well to Mo Qingyun began to weaken rapidly. However, as the resistance of the wind to Mo Qingyun weakened, Mo Qingyun also slowly left the mysterious state and returned to reality. After his consciousness returned to reality, Mo Qingyun could no longer maintain the fusion of the strange wind and the traceless demon shadow. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun sighed and said, "It seems that if I want to return to that state, I will have to comprehend it bit by bit." Mo Qingyun sighed and his state of mind calmed down. He did not feel disappointed or depressed because of this. "Now that I have comprehended the strange wind and have comprehended the fusion of the wind and the traceless demon shadow, I believe that I will definitely be able to fuse them again," Mo Qingyun said confidently. "Since I have comprehended the strange wind, I should be able to enter the tunnel." Mo Qingyun released the strange wind to resist the strange wind in the tunnel and went deeper into the tunnel. Then, Mo Qingyun clearly felt that the resistance in the tunnel had decreased by a lot. Soon, Mo Qingyun arrived at the end of the tunnel and saw a strange stone flickering with lightning. What kind of stone is this? It can release such a shocking power of wind and lightning? Looking at the green-silver stone that was the size of a soccer ball, Mo Qingyun was shocked and curious about the origin of this stone. After pondering for a while, Emo Qingyun stopped thinking about it and threw the wind and lightning stone into the 5-directional pagoda, saying, "I don't have time to study this stone now. I should seize the time and go collect other treasures." Then, Emo Qingyun turned into an illusory cloud and disappeared into the dry well. With a few flashes of his body, Emo Qingyun arrived outside the hut. Seeing his performance, Emo Qingyun was immediately overjoyed. He revealed an excited expression and said, "My current movement speed is at least twice as fast as before. If I meet Tan Yu and the other two again, I can easily cripple them." Suppressing the joy in his heart, Emo Qingyun walked out of the small house and went to other small houses to collect other treasures. Soon, Emo Qingyun arrived at another small house. This small house was very large, and from the decorations, it seemed to be the residence of the master of the Clear Wind Mansion. However, this small courtyard had already become extremely messy. It seemed like it had already been ransacked. "Am I too late?" Looking at the scene in front of him, Emo Qingyun was stunned and a trace of disappointment appeared in his heart. At this moment, just as Emo Qingyun was feeling disappointed, a familiar figure walked out of a room. Chapter 1336. Tan Yu. Looking at the person in front of him, Emo Qingyun's lips curled into a mischievous smile. He was just worrying about where to find Tan Yu and the other two. He didn't expect them to come knocking on his door. More importantly, there was only Tan Yu now. It would be even easier to deal with them. "Emo Qingyun, I won't let you escape this time." Tan Yu didn't know what Emo Qingyun was thinking. Therefore, when he saw Emo Qingyun, he immediately charged towards Emo Qingyun. Looking at Tan Yu, who was charging towards him, Emo Qingyun smiled mockingly and replied, "Tan Yu, it seems like you didn't remember what I said last time. Sealed door. Blood Chi rampage. God of War transformation." After Emo Qingyun finished speaking, he didn't waste any more words with Tan Yu. He used the 3 mystiques without hesitation. Then, Tan Yu, who was charging towards Emo Qingyun, was hit by a mini version of the light door. The blood in his body and his soul were suppressed. In the blink of an eye, Tan Yu's cultivation level dropped from the half-step true immortal stage to the early stage, immortal infant stage. My cultivation level. Realizing that his cultivation level had dropped, Tan Yu's face turned pale. His expression was filled with fear. He really didn't expect Emo Qingyun to have such a strange technique. However, before Tan Yu could calm down, the fear on his face became even more intense. On the other hand, Emo Qingyun's aura skyrocketed under the support of the 2 mystique. Not long after, the aura that Emo Qingyun emitted reached a level comparable to the immortal infant stage. Immortal infant stage. Sensing the change in Emo Qingyun's aura, Tan Yu's face turned even paler. He felt a strong sense of fear. At this moment, his confidence that he would definitely win was finally shaken. He didn't dare to guarantee that he would be able to defeat Emo Qingyun if they were at the same cultivation level. Right now, Emo Qingyun's thoughts were the exact opposite of Tan Yu's. What Emo Qingyun was thinking now was to kill Tan Yu as quickly as possible and then leave this small courtyard. Vanishing shadow. Emo Qingyun's figure flashed. He quickly avoided Tan Yu's attack and arrived behind her. Seeing Emo Qingyun appear behind her, Tan Yu's expression immediately twitched. She revealed an incredulous expression and said in horror, "No. Impossible. I haven't seen you for just 5 days. How can your speed become so fast?" Right now, Tan Yu felt that her speed was not on the same level as Emo Qingyun's. Golden snake flashing halberd. Looking at the frightened Tan Yu, Emo Qingyun sneered and waved the immortal burning battle halberd at Tan Yu. Emo Qingyun thrust out the immortal incinerating war halberd. With a flash of golden light, he disappeared from his original spot. A moment later, when Emo Qingyun's figure appeared again, he had already pierced Tan Yu's chest with the immortal burning battle halberd. Looking at her blood-stained chest, Tan Yu widened her eyes. She could not believe this was real. In front of Emo Qingyun, she could not fight back at all. Puff! Without waiting for Tan Yu to speak, Emo Qingyun increased the strength of his hand and penetrated Tan Yu's body with the immortal burning battle halberd. Emo Qingyun's halberd pierced Tan Yu's body. Tan Yu's vitality began to weaken little by little. Immediately, a small gray figure flew out from Tan Yu's head and said viciously, "Emo Qingyun, remember this. I, Tan Yu, will avenge this hatred in the future. You have no chance." Looking at Tan Yu's soul, Emo Qingyun sneered. A purple light flashed in his right eye. Then, a purple saber light burst out from Emo Qingyun's right eye. The saber light was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it hit Tan Yu's soul. Puff! After being hit by the saber light, Tan Yu's soul was instantly destroyed and turned into a pile of soul fragments. Soul Summoning Gate. After destroying Tan Yu's soul, Emo Qingyun immediately used the Soul Summoning Gate to transform Tan Yu's soul. Tan Yu was a half-step true immortal expert. His soul could be transformed into a ghost, which was quite useful. Soon, a fierce-looking black figure quickly condensed in front of Emo Qingyun. Seeing this, Emo Qingyun put the ghost and Tan Yu's body into the 5 Directions Pagoda. After he finished doing all of this, Emo Qingyun didn't continue staying here, and his figure flashed out of the small courtyard. Emo Qingyun did not want others to know that he killed Tan Yu. After all, Tan Yu was Lu Yanghu's subordinate. If he killed Tan Yu, it would be difficult to explain to Lu Yanghu. If others knew that he killed Tan Yu and Lu Yanghu did not avenge Tan Yu, it would be difficult for Lu Yanghu to explain to his subordinate. In this way, Lu Yanghu would be in a dilemma. This was not the result that Emo Qingyun wanted. Whoosh! 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 Not long after Emo Qingyun left the small courtyard, Xing Wushuang and Tao Chuyang came to the courtyard. Xing Wushuang looked around with a solemn expression and said in a deep voice, "The fight ended in an instant. It seems that one of the parties obtained an overwhelming victory and killed the other. Judging from the fight just now, one of the party's strength is not lower than yours or mine. Who is this person?" Tao Chuyang looked curious and began to guess the identity of the person who attacked. Of course, Tao Chuyang guessed that the person's identity was not to avenge the person who was killed. He was worried that someone who could threaten Lu Yanghu's position would appear next to him. After hearing Tao Chuyang's analysis, Xing Wushuang pondered for a moment and said, "If I'm not wrong, the person who killed and robbed is not someone we know. He might have obtained something in the Clear Wind Mansion and increased his strength. Forget it. We don't have to worry about this. Let's go and meet up with Tan Yu." "All right. After we find Tan Yu, we'll look for Emo Qingyun and find an opportunity to kill Emo Qingyun." Tao Chuyang and Xing Wushuang discussed for a while before they left the small courtyard to meet up with Tan Yu. If they knew that Tan Yu had been killed by Emo Qingyun, they would feel complicated. When Tao Chuyang and Xing Wushuang left, Emo Qingyun arrived at another small courtyard. This small courtyard was also in a mess. It looked like it had been ransacked. Emo Qingyun did not take this to heart. What he cared about now was the treasures that Tan Yu had obtained. After entering a room, Emo Qingyun took out Tan Yu's Qinkuan bag and checked her gains. When Tan Yu opened her Qinkuan bag, Emo Qingyun saw some green bamboo. It was the sky blue thunder bamboo. The sky blue thunder bamboo in Tan Yu's Qinkuan bag was about 1/3 of the total amount. It looked like the sky blue thunder bamboo that Xing Wushuang and the other two had obtained had been evenly distributed. 1/3 of the sky blue thunder bamboo. Emo Qingyun smiled faintly when he saw the sky blue thunder bamboo in the Qinkuan bag. He mocked Tan Yu in his heart. Chapter 1337. After putting away the heavenly thunder bamboo, Emo Qingyun continued to check Tan Yu's Qinkuan bag. As Emo Qingyun checked, a green cloak attracted his attention. After seeing the cloak, Emo Qingyun was curious and took it out of the Qinkuan bag. What a pure wind power! Holding the cloak in his hand, Mo Qingyun had a surprised expression on his face as he carefully observed it. After observing it for a while, Mo Qingyun was shocked and said, "This cloak is actually a supreme-grade immortal artifact." The immortal burning war halberd was only a middle-grade immortal artifact. Moreover, with Mo Qingyun's understanding of the immortal burning war halberd, the immortal burning war halberd could only be a supreme-grade immortal artifact. This showed how precious a supreme-grade immortal artifact was. Although I don't know what this cloak is used for, one thing is for sure, this cloak is definitely not simple. After checking the cloak in his hand, Mo Qingyun immediately entered the 5-directional pagoda and prepared to refine the cloak. After about a day, Mo Qingyun finally refined the cloak. Seeing that the cloak was refined, Mo Qingyun smiled brightly and said impatiently, "Since the cloak has been refined, let's see the ability of this cloak." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he activated the cloak to test what kind of ability it had. Under Mo Qingyun's activation, a green figure instantly separated from his body. Doppelganger? Looking at the green figure in front of him, Mo Qingyun's expression changed slightly. He was surprised by the cloak's ability. Immediately, Mo Qingyun released his soul power to sense the green figure. After a while, Mo Qingyun found that the green figure was just an afterimage formed by immortal spiritual energy. The only difference was that this afterimage was more realistic and could confuse others. In addition, according to Mo Qingyun's observation of the cloak, if the cloak was activated to the extreme, it could produce 7 afterimages. After discovering this, Mo Qingyun's face was filled with joy. He smiled faintly and said, "With this cloak, when escaping in the future, I have another powerful trump card." Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and said with a satisfied smile. He took out Tan Yu's Qiankuan bag and said, "I wonder if there are any other treasures in Tan Yu's Qiankuan bag." Next, the items in Tan Yu's Qiankuan bag were counted by Mo Qingyun one by one. Tan Yu's Qiankuan bag, the Qiankuan bag there was nothing particularly precious. What is this?" Just as Mo Qingyun was feeling disappointed, a silver-green stone seal attracted his attention. After sizing up the silver-green stone seal, Mo Qingyun revealed a look of curiosity. He was about to take it out. However, when Mo Qingyun's finger touched the silver-green stone seal, his expression instantly changed, revealing a look of shock. On the surface of the silver-green stone seal, there was a terrifying power of wind and thunder. He had only lightly touched the stone seal, but his fingers had been cut several times, and his arm had become stiff for a moment. After all, Mo Qingyun's current physical strength was comparable to a middle-grade immortal artifact. But even so, Mo Qingyun's finger was instantly cut by the silver-green stone seal's wind and thunder power. From this, it could be seen how terrifying the wind and lightning energy of the silver-green stone seal was. What a terrifying power of wind and lightning! Mo Qingyun's face was filled with astonishment. He sized up the silver-green stone seal seriously and released his soul power into it. 1. When his soul power entered the silver-green stone seal, Mo Qingyun felt a buzzing in his head, and his consciousness entered a silver-green world. Lucky little guy, inherit my legacy of the rushing thunder wind path. A low voice suddenly appeared in Mo Qingyun's mind. Then, Mo Qingyun felt a swelling pain in his head, as a large amount of information poured into his mind. Rushing thunder wind path. Could this be the legacy of the Clear Wind Mansion's owner? The moment the voice appeared in his mind, Mo Qingyun instinctively had this thought, and he became extremely excited. He really did not expect that after killing Tan Yu, he would obtain such a reward. This was simply an unexpected surprise. After a short moment of shock, Mo Qingyun no longer diverted his attention and focused on accepting the legacy. As Mo Qingyun accepted the legacy, his aura began to strengthen bit by bit. Not long after, Mo Qingyun's aura reached the peak of the middle-grade Immortal Dew Realm, and it continued to increase. 2 days later, The legacy of the Clear Wind Mansion's owner finally came to an end. At this moment, Mo Qingyun's aura stopped increasing, and it reached the peak of the middle-grade Immortal Dew realm. However, what really surprised Mo Qingyun was that his immortal spiritual energy was mixed with the power of wind and thunder. As expected of an expert at the peak of the golden immortal realm. I've only comprehended 1/10,000th of his legacy, and I've already obtained such a great reward. Looking at his own improvement, Mo Qingyun's face was filled with emotion, and he estimated his own strength. With my current strength, I won't be at a disadvantage even if I face a half-step true immortal realm expert head-on. Seeing that the legacy of the Clear Wind Mansion's owner had come to an end, Mo Qingyun did not want to stay any longer. He stood up and smiled faintly. Since I've obtained the legacy of the Clear Wind Mansion, it's time to leave. Then, Mo Qingyun's figure moved, and he left the 5-directional small pagoda, preparing to leave the Clear Wind Mansion. After a short while, Mo Qingyun had just walked out of the small courtyard, and he saw Lu Yonghu and the others. "Brother Mo, looks like you've gained quite a lot." Seeing Mo Qingyun not far away, Lu Yonghu smiled faintly at Mo Qingyun, and walked towards Mo Qingyun. Seeing that Lu Yonghu was walking towards Mo Qingyun, Chagong and the others followed suit, and they also walked towards Mo Qingyun. As Lu Yonghu and the others approached, Mo Qingyun realized that their auras were almost twice as strong as the experts from a few days ago. It seemed like Lu Yonghu and the others had also gained a lot in the past few days. In particular, Lu Yonghu's change was the greatest. Mo Qingyun had a vague feeling that Lu Yonghu might have already condensed a star position. As for Chagong and the others, they all had the aura of a true immortal. If they were to cultivate in seclusion for a period of time, they would definitely become true immortal realm experts. Haha, I've gained a little. Mo Qingyun smiled faintly as he looked at Lu Yonghu, who had walked up to him, and responded simply, "That's good." Hearing Mo Qingyun's reply, Lu Yonghu did not ask about Lu Yonghu's specific gains. Instead, he smiled faintly and said, "Brother Mo, we plan to continue exploring the God's Eye Mansion. Are you willing to come with us?" After witnessing Mo Qingyun's attainments in array formations, Lu Yonghu hoped that Mo Qingyun would be willing to travel with him, and then help him break the array formation. Hearing Lu Yonghu's invitation, Mo Qingyun's face lit up, and he replied straightforwardly, "If that's the case, I'll have to trouble Captain Lu to take care of me again." Mo Qingyun originally wanted to go deeper into the God's Eye Mansion. Now that Lu Yonghu had taken the initiative to invite him, he naturally would not reject. Chapter 1338 Iron Blood Realm Abyss, Immortal Tribe Camp. Senior Brother Chunqing, Junior Brother Mo went to investigate and hasn't returned after such a long time. Could he have met with some danger? Yes. Should we ask the captain to send someone to look for Junior Brother Mo? In my opinion, even if we ask the captain, he probably won't send anyone to look for Junior Brother Mo. I suspect that this is all part of the captain's plan to kill Junior Brother Mo. At this moment, Chunqing and the rest were worried and praying that Mo Qingyun could return safely. It had been close to 10 days since Mo Qingyun went to investigate. However, there was no news of Mo Qingyun at all. It was no wonder that Chunqing and the rest were worried. Compared to the worry of Chunqing and the rest, Yuan Kong smiled coldly and gloated, "Mo Qingyun, you will also have this day. Even if I, Yuan Kong, don't do anything, you won't be able to leave the Iron Blood Realm Abyss alive." The current situation couldn't be better for Yuan Kong. While Chunqing and the rest were talking, the people from East Dawn Immortal Palace walked over. "Chunqing, the few of you can stop dreaming. Mo Qingyun is dead for sure," Li Wenla sneered. Hearing Li Wenla's words, Chunqing and the rest were enraged. They looked at Li Wenla and gritted their teeth. "Li Wenla, you despicable person. You don't have the ability to compete with Junior Brother Mo, So you used such a despicable method. Since ancient times the winner takes all. Emo Qingyun is going against my East Dawn Immortal Palace. He doesn't know his limits and is just courting death. In response to Chen Qing and the others' angry words, Li Wenle showed an arrogant expression and replied indifferently. Hearing Li Wenle's words, Chen Qing and the rest were enraged and wanted to attack Li Wenle and the rest. Seeing their actions, Li Wenle and the rest were not to be outdone and confronted Chen Qing and the rest. At this moment, when Chen Qing and the others were ready to fight, the black-faced middle-aged man walked over with a displeased expression. The black-faced middle-aged man scanned the crowd and looked at Chen Qing and the rest with a gloomy expression. He scolded, "If you disciples of the Eternal South Immortal Palace continue to cause trouble here, don't blame me for chasing all of you away and disqualifying you from this assessment. You shameless bastard! You abused your power and caused the death of junior brother Mo." Hearing the middle-aged man's words, Huang Guanjuan was furious. He pointed at the middle-aged man and cursed. Seeing Huang Guanjuan's action, the dark-faced middle-aged man's face sank. A terrifying aura was emitted from his body. Boom! Soon after, the crowd saw Huang Guanjuan being sent flying by a powerful force. Blood kept flowing out of his mouth. Junior brother Huang. Seeing Huang Guanjuan's appearance, Chen Qing and the others hurried over and glared at the black-faced middle-aged man. "Don't you go too far. The Eternal South Immortal Palace has seniors here as well. If we really fight, we're not afraid of the East Dawn Immortal Palace." Humph! When he saw Chen Qing's actions, the black-faced middle-aged man snorted coldly before he turned around and walked towards the campsite. Serves him right. Seeing the black-faced middle-aged man turn around and leave, Li Wenle and the others sneered and gloated. The people of the Eternal South Immortal Palace are so unlucky to have offended the people of the East Dawn Immortal Palace. Judging from the current situation, the number one genius of the Eternal South Immortal Palace, Missouri Qingyun, looks like he's done for. Mo Qingyun is really a genius. It'll be a pity if he dies like this. Looking at the scene before them, the people from the various major forces all revealed sympathetic and regretful expressions. Cough, cough, cough. With the help of Chen Qing and the others, Huang Guanjuan's injuries were stabilized. He coughed out a few mouthfuls of blood and said, "When I break through to the true immortal realm, I'll definitely kill this person and avenge today's attack." Hearing Huang Guanjuan's words, Chen Qing and the others clenched their fists and had the same thought in their minds. Not far away, Li Wenle caught up with the black-faced middle-aged man and said with a flattering smile, "Senior brother Hanrong, it's all thanks to you this time. Otherwise we would have to put in a lot of effort to take care of the people of the Eternal South Immortal Palace." It's nothing." The black-faced middle-aged man smiled at Li Wenle's words and said, "Now that the East Dawn Immortal Palace and the Ice Frost Immortal Palace have formed an alliance, the Eternal South Immortal Palace will disappear in the river of history sooner or later." "Haha, that's right." Li Wenle and the others laughed when they heard this and said, "With Mo Qingyun's talent, if he grew up smoothly, he might have been a problem in the future. Now that Mo Qingyun is dead, the hope of the Eternal South Immortal Palace is gone." Then, Li Wenle and the others smiled proudly and chatted as they walked. They all thought that Mo Qingyun had most likely been killed by the god race, since there was no news of him until now. In the God's Eye Estate, Mo Qingyun and the others left the Clear Wind Estate and rushed towards the inner part of the God's Eye Estate. After a few hours of rushing, Mo Qingyun and the others came to the top of a cliff and saw a huge gully in front of them. That ethereal palace is the Extreme Star Palace, one of the 8 great inheritances of the God's Eye Estate. Lu Yanghu stood at the top of the cliff and pointed at the ethereal palace in the distance and introduced it to Mo Qingyun and the others. Hearing Lu Yanghu's introduction, Mo Qingyun and the others looked towards the Extreme Star Palace. Following the direction Lu Yanghu pointed, Mo Qingyun saw some ethereal palaces and his face was full of anticipation. Whoosh! At this moment, as Mo Qingyun and the others were talking, a deafening bird cry entered their ears. Then, Mo Qingyun saw a huge figure flying towards them at an extremely fast speed. It was a huge, eagle-type bird. Seeing the huge figure, Lu Yanghu became anxious and quickly reminded Mo Qingyun and the others, "Not good, everyone be careful, this is the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle of the true immortal realm." Lu Yanghu reminded Mo Qingyun and the others and his figure moved, charging towards the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. Soon, Lu Yanghu and the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle were engaged in a fierce battle. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun frowned and hesitated in his heart whether to intervene or not. After pondering for a while, Mo Qingyun made up his mind. He said to Cha Gong and the others in a deep voice, "This golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle is not weak. Let's go help Captain Lu kill this eagle." "Okay." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Cha Gong and the others no longer hesitated and rushed towards the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. With the addition of Mo Qingyun and the others, the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle quickly fell into a passive position. Under the siege of Mo Qingyun and the others, the situation was worrying. After a while, the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle's body was covered in wounds. Whoosh! After being injured, the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle did not dare to continue fighting. It flapped its wings rapidly and disappeared in front of Mo Qingyun and the others. Seeing that the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle had fled, Mo Qingyun did not stop but chased after it. Chapter 1339. Brother Mo, don't chase after him. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Lu Yanghu's face was filled with worry as he hurriedly shouted at Mo Qingyun. However, before he could finish his words, Mo Qingyun's figure had already disappeared. What a fast speed! Seeing Mo Qingyun's figure disappear in a flash, Lu Yanghu's expression couldn't help but change as he thought to himself, "Even if I fly at full speed, I'm afraid I'm not as fast as Brother Mo." Hearing Lu Yanghu's words, Cha Gong and the others immediately revealed shocked expressions. One must know that Lu Yanghu was already a minor star realm expert, yet he actually lost to Mo Qingyun in terms of speed. From this, one could see how fast Mo Qingyun's speed was. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Xing Wushuang sneered and said, "This Mo Qingyun really doesn't know his own strength. He actually chased after the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle alone. He's simply courting death." Hearing Xing Wushuang's words, Tao Chuyang also sneered as his eyes flashed with a sharp light. He said, "It's best if he dies under the claws of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. This way we won't have to do anything." Seeing Mo Qingyun chase after the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, Lu Yanghu sighed and turned to the others. He said, "Since Brother Mo has gone after the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, we shouldn't stay here any longer. Let's continue our journey to the Extreme Star Mansion." Then, Lu Yanghu led the others and continued to rush towards the Extreme Star Mansion. While Lu Yanghu and the others were heading towards the Extreme Star Mansion, Mo Qingyun finally caught up with the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. Sealed door. Mo Qingyun caught up with the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle and used the sealed door without hesitation to seal the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle's cultivation. A miniature light door formed in front of Mo Qingyun and bombarded the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. Then, the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, who was caught off guard, was hit by the sealed door. Whoosh! After being hit by the sealed door, the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle let out a cry and its aura instantly weakened a little. Immediately after, the speed of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle slowed down significantly. As the speed of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle slowed down, Mo Qingyun arrived on its back in a few flashes. Noticing that Mo Qingyun was riding on its back, the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle shook its body violently and began to roll in the air. Regardless of whether the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle flew sideways or upside down, it was unable to shake off Mo Qingyun. His gaze was like a blade. Riding on the back of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, Mo Qingyun's left eye flashed with a purple light, bursting out a beam of blade light. This saber light flashed and instantly blasted into the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle's head. It blasted the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle's consciousness into chaos. Whoosh! The golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle let out another cry, and its aura became even weaker. It was difficult for it to maintain its balance. Seeing the state of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, the corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly. With a cold expression, he said, "Now I'll give you a choice. If you don't want to die, then obediently submit to me and be my mount from now on." As soon as Mo Qingyun's words fell, he raised his right hand, and his palm emitted a terrifying fluctuation of spiritual energy. Sensing the fluctuation of spiritual energy in Mo Qingyun's palm, the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle's body trembled. It hurriedly nodded to Mo Qingyun and begged for mercy. Seeing the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle begging for mercy, Mo Qingyun revealed a satisfied smile. He was very satisfied with the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle's performance. Immediately, Mo Qingyun planted a soul imprint in the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle's sea of consciousness. After subduing the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, Mo Qingyun took out a pill and handed it to the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, saying, "This is a gold spirit immortal cultivation pill. It can heal your physical injuries and soul injuries. Take it." Then, Mo Qingyun threw the gold spirit immortal cultivation pill into the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle's mouth. After the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle ate the gold spirit immortal cultivation pill, it began to refine the pill and recover from its injuries. Seeing the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle recover from its injuries, Mo Qingyun did not disturb it and sat cross-legged beside it to adjust his breathing. About 2 hours later, the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle's injuries were healed. "Since your injuries are healed, let's set off for the Star Pole Mansion." Seeing that the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle's injuries were healed, Mo Qingyun jumped onto its back and ordered it to carry him on the journey. Then, Mo Qingyun rode the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle and rushed toward the Star Pole Mansion. Several hours later, under the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle's rapid flight, Mo Qingyun saw Lu Yanghu and the others. At this moment, they were only a mountain away from the Star Pole Mansion. "Everyone be careful! The golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle is coming again." Seeing the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle approaching, Lu Yanghu looked nervous and immediately warned everyone. Hearing Lu Yanghu's words, everyone's expression became flustered, and they all put up their guard. "Hey, there seems to be a person sitting on the back of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. Could it be that the owner of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle is here? To be able to subdue the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle of the true immortal realm, this person must be very powerful. We are in big trouble." It seems that Mo Qingyun went to chase after the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle and was killed by the other party. Seeing the person on the back of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, everyone's expression became nervous and different thoughts appeared in their minds. However, when everyone saw the person on the back of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, they were all stunned. Mo Qingyun. The person on the back of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle was actually Mo Qingyun, who went to chase after the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. Could it be that Mo Qingyun had subdued the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle? When this thought appeared in everyone's mind, they were shocked and felt that it was unreal. This was a golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle of the true immortal realm, and Mo Qingyun's cultivation was only at the immortal dew stage. How did he do it? "Captain Lu, don't tell me that you don't recognize me after I left for a while?" Looking at Lu Yanghu and the others in front of him, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and greeted Lu Yanghu and the others. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lu Yanghu and the others woke up as if from a dream. They still felt that it was somewhat unbelievable. This golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle of the true immortal realm was actually subdued by Mo Qingyun. No, it's just that we didn't expect Brother Mo to be able to subdue it. Looking at the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle that Mo Qingyun was sitting on, even with Lu Yanghu's status, he still showed an expression of envy. True immortal realm mounts were extremely precious, especially the eagle-type mounts that were known for their speed. They were even rarer and more precious. For example, the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle that Mo Qingyun was sitting on, even a true immortal realm expert of a large star position would find it difficult to obtain one. Haha, I was just lucky. In response to Lu Yanghu's envious words, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and said, "When I caught up with it, it was already half dead. Therefore, I was lucky enough to subdue it." Brother Mo, your luck is really extraordinary. Lu Yanghu couldn't help but sigh. However, he didn't have any other thoughts. He knew that even if the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle was injured, he still couldn't catch up with it. Chapter 1340. Since Brother Mo is back, let's continue our journey. After exchanging a few more words with Mo Qingyun, Lu Yanghu instructed everyone and led them towards the extreme star mansion. Lu Yanghu was very happy about Mo Qingyun's return. In his opinion, with Mo Qingyun accompanying them, if the extreme star mansion also had an array formation, he could still let Mo Qingyun take action. On the way to the extreme star mansion, Mo Qingyun rode the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle under everyone's envious gazes. Looking at Mo Qingyun on the back of the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle, Xing Wushuang and Tao Chu Yang's faces were as black as the bottom of a pot. Originally, they thought that Mo Qingyun would die under the claws of the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle. However, they didn't expect that Mo Qingyun would actually subdue the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle. This kind of huge contrast really made them feel very uncomfortable. Looking at Mo Qingyun in front of them, Tao Chu Yang's expression turned cold. He clenched his fists tightly and gritted his teeth. Damn brat, how could he have such good luck to subdue the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle? While Tao Chu Yang was fuming, Xing Wushuang's expression suddenly changed. She had made a big discovery and exclaimed, "If this Mo Qingyun can subdue the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle, then could he have something to do with Tan Yu's death?" When Lu Yanghu and the others left the Clear Wind Mansion, they confirmed that Tan Yu had been killed. Xing Wushuang guessed that Tan Yu's death might have something to do with Mo Qingyun. She said to Tao Chu Yang, "Tao Chu Yang, if this Mo Qingyun can subdue the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle, then he has the strength to kill Tan Yu. Maybe her death is related to him? We can't rule out this possibility. This brat has been hiding very deeply. Even now I can see through him." Hearing Xing Wushuang's words, Tao Chu Yang couldn't help but be shocked. He felt that Xing Wushuang's words made sense. It doesn't matter if it's him or not, we can't let him go so easily. After confirming that Mo Qingyun was the one who killed Tan Yu, Xing Wushuang revealed a sinister expression and said coldly, "Mo Qingyun, since you have the strength to subdue the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle and have a grudge with the three of us, shouldn't you give us an explanation for Tan Yu's death?" Upon hearing Xing Wushuang's words, everyone's expression turned solemn as they turned to look at Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun could even subdue a golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle of the true immortal realm. He indeed had the ability to kill Tan Yu. Moreover, Mo Qingyun had a grudge against Tan Yu, so he had a reason to kill Tan Yu. After thinking about it, everyone felt that Xing Wushuang's words made sense. They started to feel some hostility towards Mo Qingyun. Looking at Tao Chu Yang, who was sent flying, Mo Qingyun revealed a look of disdain and spoke disdainfully. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Tao Chu Yang was immediately enraged. He glared at Mo Qingyun and roared, "Mo Qingyun, you've gone too far. However, after witnessing the power of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, Tao Chu-yang did not dare to act rashly. He could only glare at Emo Qingyun with a gloomy expression. Seeing Tao Chu-yang's actions, Emo Qingyun curled his lips in disdain. He turned his head and ignored Tao Chu-yang. Seeing Emo Qingyun turn his head away, Tao Chu-yang did not dare to provoke Emo Qingyun anymore. He began to regulate his breathing and recover from his injuries. While Tao Chu-yang was regulating his breathing and recovering from his injuries, Xing Wushuang revealed a treacherous expression. She turned her head to look at Lu Yanghu and said, "Captain Lu, this person has repeatedly attacked and injured others. You must punish him severely and give everyone a satisfactory explanation." Hearing Xing Wushuang's words, Lu Yanghu's brows furrowed tightly. A sense of difficulty rose in his heart. Naturally, he could tell that Tao Chu-yang and the others had been making things difficult for Emo Qingyun, which caused Emo Qingyun to retaliate. However, Emo Qingyun had indeed severely injured Tao Chu-yang. If he did not appear, he would not be able to answer to his subordinate. However, if he punished Emo Qingyun, it would definitely make Emo Qingyun unhappy. If that happened, Emo Qingyun would not help them if the extreme star mansion was obstructed by the array. Thinking of this, Lu Yanghu was in a dilemma. He hesitated on what to do. After a short moment of silence, Lu Yanghu made a decision. He persuaded Xing Wushuang, "Wushuang, Brother Emo helped us break the array and let us obtain the treasures in the Clear Wind Mansion. He can be considered a friend of ours. We don't have to be hostile towards him." Hearing Lu Yanghu's words, everyone nodded. They felt that Lu Yanghu's words made sense. Seeing Lu Yanghu's attitude, Xing Wushuang did not say anything more. She only revealed a trace of dissatisfaction. Chapter 1341. Xing Wushuang and Tao Chu-yang stopped talking, and Lu Yanghu continued to lead the group to the extreme star mansion. The rest of the journey was relatively smooth, and they didn't encounter any trouble. After about an hour, a mansion built according to the 8 trigrams appeared in front of Emo Qingyun and the others. This was the Extreme Star Mansion. According to Lu Yanghu, the master of the Extreme Star Mansion was a top-rank 5 Immortal Array Master. Top-rank 5 Immortal Array Master? After learning the identity of the master, Emo Qingyun, Wang Xian, and the others' eyes lit up. They were full of anticipation for the inheritance of the Extreme Star Mansion. If they could obtain the inheritance of the Extreme Star Mansion, they wouldn't have to worry about their Array Dao cultivation until they became a rank 6 Immortal Array Master. As the residence of a top rank 5 Immortal Array Master, the layout of the Extreme Star Mansion was undoubtedly much more advanced than that of the Clear Wind Mansion. Therefore, if they wanted to break the formation of the Extreme Star Mansion and enter, it would be much more difficult than the Clear Wind Mansion. When Emo Qingyun and the others arrived, there were already many people gathered outside the Extreme Star Mansion. From the looks of it, they shouldn't be able to break the formation of the Extreme Star Mansion and were blocked outside. 2 true immortals. When they arrived outside the mansion, Emo Qingyun sensed the auras of 2 true immortals. Judging from the aura of these 2 people, their strength should be slightly stronger than Lu Yanghu's. Of course, now that Lu Yanghu had successfully condensed a star position, the 2 of them couldn't compare. Captain Jing Yi, Captain Peng Li, Captain Lu Yanghu. Lu Yanghu and the others greeted each other. Jing Yi and Peng Li greeted Lu Yanghu, and the 2 of them became alert as they looked at the people behind Lu Yanghu. Clearly, Jing Yi and Peng Li already considered Lu Yanghu and the others as their competitors. But then again, since Lu Yanghu and the others were here, they naturally wanted a share of the pie. Golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle of the true immortal realm. When Jing Yi and Peng Li saw Emo Qingyun, they were surprised and envious. A golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle of the true immortal realm was something that they couldn't even dream of. Immortal Dew Stage? Knowing Mo Qingyun's cultivation level, Jing Yi and Lu Yi are once again surprised. They did not expect that the master of this true immortal stage golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle was actually an immortal Du stage junior. After a brief moment of surprise, Peng Li revealed a greedy expression as he sneered, "Little fellow, are you willing to exchange your golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle? If you're willing to give it to me, I can grant you a request." Seeing Peng Li's actions, Xing Wushuang and Tao Chuyang's expressions changed, revealing cold smiles. In their opinion, if Mo Qingyun was unwilling to exchange, he would definitely offend Peng Li. On the other hand, if Mo Qingyun agreed to the exchange, he would lose the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. Without the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, Mo Qingyun and Tao Chuyang no longer had to fear him. No matter what, the current situation was good news for Tao Chuyang and Luo Yunyang. "I'm sorry, but I'm not exchanging my mount." Mo Qingyun shook his head in response to Peng Li's words and replied nonchalantly, "You're not exchanging?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Peng Li's face sank and he said unhappily, "Little fellow, you should know that treasuring a jade ring is a crime. This kind of mount is not something you can have. I advise you to give it to me." "Thank you for your reminder," Mo Qingyun replied indifferently in response to Peng Li's unhappiness. His tone became even colder as he said, "Also, this seems to be my matter. It's not your place to worry." Mo Qingyun thought to himself, "This Peng Li doesn't need to use force. If this Peng Li wants to use force, I don't mind to make him suffer a bit." Now that he had the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, Mo Qingyun didn't care as long as he didn't meet a big star expert. "Peng Li, you're a true immortal stage expert, yet you're bullying an immortal Du stage junior. Isn't this a bit unreasonable?" Looking at Peng Li's behavior, Jing Yi smiled cunningly and said something unhappily. Then Jing Yi turned his head to look at Mo Qingyun and said, "Little fellow, don't be afraid. Now as long as you follow behind me, no one will dare to bully you." Jing Yi's eyes flashed with craftiness when he said those words. From the looks of it, the true thoughts in his heart were probably not what he had said. "Thank you, senior, for your good intention, but I can protect myself well." Mo Qingyun politely refused Jing Yi's good intention. He didn't believe Jing Yi. He felt that this Jing Yi was more dangerous than Peng Li. Seeing that Mo Qingyun refused his good intention, Jing Yi was startled. He was somewhat surprised by this result. However, Jing Yi didn't seem to be unhappy because of this. He just smiled and said, "Little fellow, it seems that you're quite confident about your strength. If that's the case, then it seems that I'm too meddlesome." When Jing Yi said those words, if one looked carefully, one could see that his eyes flashed with anger. "Little fellow, you don't know what's good for you." Seeing that Mo Qingyun refused Jing Yi's good intention, Peng Li's face turned cold. He said unhappily, "Little fellow, now I'll give you one last chance. Do you want to exchange your golden-crowned snake-feather eagle or not?" "No." Looking at Peng Li's threatening action, Mo Qingyun replied indifferently. Then he mockingly said, "What's wrong? Since the soft approach didn't work, you plan to take it by force? Since you can see through it, then I don't need to hide anymore." Seeing that his intention was seen through by Mo Qingyun, Peng Li smiled coldly and said, "Now even if you want to regret, it's too late." As soon as Peng Li finished speaking, his figure moved and he directly extended his palm towards Mo Qingyun. Looking at his action, it seemed that he planned to capture Mo Qingyun and force Mo Qingyun to give him the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle. "Regret?" Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and shook his head. His face was full of disdain as he replied, "You want to steal my mount? You need to cultivate for another 10,000 years." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he controlled the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle to attack Peng Li. In addition, while the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle was fighting Peng Li, Mo Qingyun also harassed Peng Li. For a time, the battle between Peng Li and Mo Qingyun showed a situation where they were evenly matched. However, Liu Yanghu and the others could see that Mo Qingyun wasn't using his full strength. Seeing that Peng Li was attacking Mo Qingyun, Liu Yanghu didn't dare to hesitate. He immediately stopped Peng Li and said, "Captain Peng Li, Brother Mo is my good friend. I hope that you can give me some face and let this matter go." When Liu Yanghu said this, he didn't hide the aura of the minor star position. Minor star position. Sensing Liu Yanghu's aura, Peng Li and Jing Yi's expression is startled. Chapter 1342. The same goes for you. Mo Qingyun retorted without backing down. He no longer paid attention to Peng Li and looked towards the Extreme Star Mansion's array formation. At this moment, outside the Extreme Star Mansion, there are also several array masters there, trying to break the array formation of the Extreme Star Mansion. However, from the looks of these array masters, their progress didn't seem to be great. "Master Wang Xian, please lend us a hand." When the array masters saw Wang Xian, they were pleasantly surprised and immediately asked him for help. Hearing the words of these array masters, Wang Xian hesitated for a moment before turning to look at Mo Qingyun and said, "Master Mo, please help us." When Wang Xian asked Mo Qingyun, Liu Yanghu's expression also changed. He quickly asked Mo Qingyun, "Brother Mo, please help us break the array." "Okay." Hearing Wang Xian and Liu Yanghu's request, Mo Qingyun nodded and walked towards the gate of the Extreme Star Mansion. Seeing Mo Qingyun walking towards the Extreme Star Mansion, Peng Li's face sank and he angrily shouted, "Boy, stay away from the Extreme Star Mansion. Don't hinder the masters from breaking the array." Hearing Peng Li's words, the corners of Mo Qingyun's eyes narrowed. His expression revealed a playful look as he asked, "Are you sure?" "Yes." Peng Li didn't hesitate to answer Mo Qingyun's question. It never occurred to him that Mo Qingyun was an array master. Seeing Peng Li's reaction, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and turned back. "Master Mo. Brother Mo, why did you come back?" Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Wang Xian and Liu Yanghu were puzzled and anxious. They knew Mo Qingyun's attainments in array formations. If Mo Qingyun helped, what kind of effect would it have? In response to Liu Yanghu's question, Mo Qingyun shrugged helplessly and replied, "Captain Liu, it's not that I don't want to help, but I'm worried that if I do, the situation in Clear Wind Mansion will happen again." When Mo Qingyun said this, Liu Yanghu immediately turned to look at Peng Li. He understood what Mo Qingyun meant. From Peng Li's current performance, if Mo Qingyun were to attempt to break the formation, he would most likely be ambushed by Peng Li. Peng Li was a powerful being of the true immortal state. If he were to launch a sneak attack, it was definitely not something that Mo Qingyun could withstand. Therefore, it was reasonable for Mo Qingyun to have misgivings in his heart. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was unwilling to break the formation, Wang Xian walked to Mo Qingyun's side, looking as if he would advance or retreat together with Mo Qingyun. Wang Xian's thoughts were very clear. Now was a good opportunity to improve his relationship with Mo Qingyun. He couldn't let this opportunity slip by. Seeing Wang Xian walk back, the array masters in front of Xingji Mansion were puzzled. One of them asked, "Master Wang Xian, what's wrong with you? Why did you walk back?" "Master Wang Xian, we've known each other for decades. Are you not going to help us with this?" Another array master asked. Hearing their words, a bitter smile appeared on Wang Xian's face. He shook his head and said, "Master Li Wei, Master Song Sa, there is a true formation master here. Even your captain did not allow him to take action. Naturally, a dabbler like me would feel even more embarrassed to take action." A true array master? Everyone was puzzled. They didn't understand what Wang Xian meant. After a brief moment of confusion, they understood what Wang Xian meant. They knew who the array master he was referring to was. Then, everyone turned to look at Emo Qingyun, and their eyes widened in shock. They couldn't believe that the array master Wang Xian was talking about was actually Emo Qingyun. Seeing that everyone understood what he meant, Wang Xian showed a mocking expression. He glanced at Peng Li and said, "This Grandmaster Emo is a grade 4 immortal array master. If he's willing to break the array, the Extreme Star Mansion's array won't be a problem." A grade 4 immortal array master at such a young age. Everyone was shocked when they heard Wang Xian's introduction. The way they looked at Emo Qingyun changed drastically. After learning of Emo Qingyun's attainments in the Tao of Arrays, Grandmaster Li Wei showed a respectful expression and cupped his hands towards Emo Qingyun. "Grandmaster Emo, please help us break the spirit array of the Extreme Star Mansion." "Master Li Wei, it's not that I don't want to help, but that someone doesn't want me to." Emo Qingyun replied helplessly when he heard Li Wei's words. He glanced at Peng Li who was beside him. When Li Wei saw Emo Qingyun's action, he understood what Emo Qingyun meant. He turned to Peng Li and said in a deep voice, "Captain Peng, the Xingji Mansion's formation is grade 4 and above. It will be difficult for us to break it with our attainments in the array Tao. You should ask Master Emo to help." "Ask him?" Peng Li was stunned when he heard Li Wei's words. He hadn't expected this outcome. Just now, he had aggressively ordered Emo Qingyun not to break the formation. Now, he wanted to ask Emo Qingyun to break the formation. Wasn't this asking for trouble? What made Peng Li want to vomit blood was that if he didn't ask Emo Qingyun to help break the formation, he would offend everyone outside the Xingji Mansion. Thinking of this, Peng Li showed an unwilling expression and turned to Emo Qingyun. He said angrily, "Master Emo, I was blind just now. Please don't bother with me and help me break the Xingji Mansion's formation." "What did you say?" Seeing Peng Li's action, Emo Qingyun smiled mockingly and deliberately pretended that he didn't hear it. Seeing Emo Qingyun's action, Peng Li immediately trembled with anger. His face was gloomy to the extreme. He could naturally see that Emo Qingyun was deliberately playing with him. But what made him helpless was that he couldn't get angry at Emo Qingyun. He couldn't help it. Now that he was under someone else's roof, he had no choice but to lower his head. Looking at the silent Peng Li, Emo Qingyun's smile deepened and said, "Captain Peng, I thought you were calling me. It seems that I heard wrong." Hearing Emo Qingyun's words, Peng Li trembled with anger and his face kept twitching. "Phew!" Peng Li took a deep breath and suppressed the anger in his heart. He pleaded with Emo Qingyun, "Master Emo, I sincerely apologize for what happened just now. Please help me break the Xingji Mansion's formation." At this moment, when Peng Li said this, he secretly made a decision in his heart. "Boy, when the Xingji Mansion's formation is broken and we enter the mansion, I will kill you." Emo Qingyun was very clear about Peng Li's thoughts, but he didn't take it to heart. That's what a beggar should be. Seeing Peng Li's performance, Emo Qingyun smiled with satisfaction and said, "Since Captain Peng is begging me, I won't bother with you." After Emo Qingyun finished speaking, he lifted his foot and walked towards the Xingji Mansion, ready to break the Xingji Mansion's formation. Seeing Emo Qingyun break the Xingji Mansion's formation, everyone's expression relaxed and showed anticipation. Chapter 1343. What a skilled technique! As expected of a 4th-level immortal array master. With Master Mo's age, he has a chance to become a 6th-level immortal array master in the future. I wonder if Master Mo accepts disciples. It would be great if I could become his disciple. I don't ask to become Master Mo's disciple. As long as I can be his doorman, I will be satisfied. As Li Wei and the others watched Emo Qingyun break the formation, their gazes towards Emo Qingyun were filled with even more admiration. Following that, Li Wei and the rest stood behind Emo Qingyun humbly, just like apprentices in the field of array formations. Seeing this scene, everyone felt that it was unreal. They couldn't accept it for a long time. Then, under everyone's shocked gaze, Mo Qingyun broke the array of the extreme star mansion bit by bit. About a day later, Mo Qingyun finally broke the array of the extreme star mansion. The master of the extreme star mansion is indeed a top 5th level immortal array master. He can use the array to this extent. After breaking the array of the extreme star mansion, Mo Qingyun couldn't help but sigh. Although breaking the array of the extreme star mansion consumed a lot of my energy, I also gained a lot. My vision of array Dao has been broadened a lot. Before, when I listened to Master Bai Jian Ying's explanation of array Dao, I had a lot of doubts about it. Now all my doubts have been verified. Mo Qingyun rejoiced inwardly. He sat down cross-legged and adjusted his breathing to recover the energy he had expended. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was recovering, the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle came to Mo Qingyun's side and focused on guarding Mo Qingyun. Since the array of the extreme star mansion is broken, let's go in. Seeing that the array of the extreme star mansion was broken, Pengli didn't want to waste any time and immediately rushed inside. When Pengli entered the extreme star mansion, he and Jing Yi's subordinates also rushed inside. Looking at the actions of Pengli and the others, Lu Yanghu hesitated, wondering if he should immediately enter the extreme star mansion. If he didn't enter the extreme star mansion now, he would lose the opportunity to compete for the treasures. However, if he were to enter the extreme star mansion now and disregard Mo Qingyun's current safety, it would seem like he was burning the bridge after crossing the river. After some hesitation, Lu Yanghu finally decided to wait for Mo Qingyun to recover before entering the extreme star mansion to search for treasures. Soon after, Lu Yanghu walked to Mo Qingyun's side and focused on guarding Mo Qingyun. While Lu Yanghu was guarding Mo Qingyun, Chagong also walked to Mo Qingyun's side and guarded Mo Qingyun with a solemn expression. Seeing Lu Yanghu and Chagong's actions, Xing Wushuang and Tao Chuyang looked at each other and saw the anger in each other's eyes. They did not expect that Lu Yanghu and Chagong would give up on the treasure and stay here to protect Mo Qingyun. In this way, they would have no chance to deal with Mo Qingyun. Seeing that there was no chance to sneak attack Mo Qingyun, Xing Wushuang showed an anxious look and said to Tao Chuyang, "Let's go in too, lest those people take the initiative." As soon as Xing Wushuang's words fell, he rushed into the extreme star mansion to compete for the treasures. Seeing Xing Wushuang and Tao Chuyang enter the extreme star mansion, the others did not continue to linger and rushed into the mansion. After a while, less than a quarter of Lu Yanghu's subordinates were still outside the extreme star mansion. In this way, after about 2 hours, Mo Qingyun's exhausted state of mind had completely recovered. Many thanks to Captain Lu, Brother Chagong, and friends for protecting me here. Looking at Lu Yanghu and the others in front of him, Mo Qingyun showed a grateful expression and cupped his hands. "Since I have recovered, let's enter the extreme star mansion." "Okay." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lu Yanghu and the others nodded and entered the extreme star mansion with Mo Qingyun. After entering the extreme star mansion, Mo Qingyun showed a solemn expression and said to Lu Yanghu and the others, "Everyone, the owner of the extreme star mansion is a level 5 celestial array master. There are still many arrays in his mansion. Next, follow me into the mansion. Do not wander around casually." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lu Yanghu and the others looked solemn and vigilant. At the same time, they felt a little lucky that they had not rashly entered the mansion just now. After a short while, not long after Mo Qingyun and the others entered the extreme star mansion, a scene that made them feel lingering fear appeared. Some of Peng Li's subordinates had died in various places in the extreme star mansion. There was no lack of half-step true immortal realm experts among them. "That's Zhuang Qing. I didn't expect him to die too. Fortunately, we followed Master Mo, otherwise, we would not have ended up well. That's Yuing Xiong. I didn't expect him to die too. Serves him right. Who told him to not protect Master Mo and enter the Extreme Star Mansion in advance with Vice Captain Xing and Vice Captain Tao? Looking at the corpses of some acquaintances in front of them, the joy in their hearts became stronger. After a while, under the guidance of Mo Qingyun, they arrived in front of a row of teleportation arrays. It seemed that the function of these teleportation arrays was to teleport everyone to different places. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun showed a helpless expression and said, "Everyone, I'm afraid we'll have to part ways here. You'll have to rely on yourselves from now on. Master Mo, we're already very grateful that you've brought us here. Whether I can get out alive or not, I'll always remember Master Mo's help." "That's right. I, Dong Shu, have never admired anyone in my life. Now, I only admire Master Mo." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, everyone responded one after another, expressing their gratitude and admiration for Mo Qingyun. Seeing everyone's performance, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly at everyone and reminded them again. Immediately, everyone entered different teleportation arrays and were teleported to different places in the Extreme Star Mansion. After looking around, Mo Qingyun chose a colorful teleportation array and stepped into it. Before long, a tall tower that reached the clouds appeared before Mo Qingyun's eyes. Stargazing Tower. Standing in front of the tower, Mo Qingyun saw an ancient plaque at the entrance of the tower. After briefly looking at the stargazing tower, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and stepped into the stargazing tower. As soon as Mo Qingyun entered the stargazing tower, an endless starry sky appeared around his body. At this moment, he didn't feel like he was in a tower, but in an endless starry sky. However, what really shocked Mo Qingyun was that he saw some mysteries of spirit arrays in the starlight. After this discovery, Mo Qingyun's expression changed. He was shocked in his heart. Could it be that the owner of the Extreme Star Mansion comprehended the spirit arrays by observing these starlights? Chapter 1344. As Mo Qingyun observed the starry sky in front of him, lines of array patterns appeared in front of him. Seeing these array patterns, Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised. His expression became excited as he said, "There are so many array patterns hidden in this starry sky. It seems like my guess was right." Soon after, Mo Qingyun withdrew his mind and immersed himself in observing the runes of the formation. Under Mo Qingyun's observation, his understanding of the Tao of array formations suddenly broadened. It turns out that each array pattern can be used separately as a means of attack. The way I set up arrays in the past was really too old-fashioned. Caused the arrays to lose a lot of flexibility. Under Mo Qingyun's continuous observation, he became more and more aware of his own shortcomings. After an unknown period of time, the scene in front of Mo Qingyun's eyes suddenly blurred and turned into an antique room. What's going on? Seeing that he had suddenly left the endless starry sky, Missouri Qingyun was puzzled. He was very puzzled. After a brief moment of confusion, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly and guessed, "It seems that there is a time limit for observing the endless starry sky. After a certain time, I will be forcibly expelled." After thinking about it, Mo Qingyun couldn't help but sigh. He said in a regretful tone, "It's a pity that the time is too short. If I were to observe it for another day, my attainments in array formations should be able to advance to intermediate level 4 Celestial Array Master." After saying that, Mo Qingyun didn't mind too much. He smiled faintly and said, "Although I haven't advanced to intermediate level 4 Celestial Array Master, I have memorized many array patterns in my mind. When I fully understand these array patterns, I should be able to become a level 5 Celestial Array Master." After thinking about it, Mo Qingyun felt relieved and began to look around the room. The furnishings in the room were very simple. There was only a futon and a tea table. On the tea table, there was an ancient book that Mo Qingyun felt a sense of déjà vu. Upon seeing this, Mo Qingyun walked to the tea table and picked up the book on it. Whoosh! Mo Qingyun blew at the book and blew away the dust on it. Then, she carefully opened the book. The 33 Heavens, Star Position Continuation, Supreme Star Position. After Mo Qingyun opened the book, a few familiar words entered his eyes. Upon seeing the words on the book, Mo Qingyun's expression couldn't help but change. He said in surprise, "I didn't expect this book to be the follow-up to the 33 Heavens Star Position. I wonder what is recorded in it?" Soon after, Mo Qingyun curiously opened the continued star positions of the 33 Heavens. He wouldn't know if he didn't read it. As Mo Qingyun read through it, he came up with a crazy idea from the continued star positions of the 33 Heavens. According to the description of the 33 Heavens Star Position Continuation, even if one's cultivation hadn't reached the genuine celestial realm, one could still condense a star position. Moreover, the star position condensed could be improved continuously until it surpassed the 9th grade celestial realm. This is crazy. After reading the contents of the 33 Heavens Star Position Continuation, Mo Qingyun's heart beat faster. He couldn't help but feel a little tempted. Try? Or not try? At this moment, Mo Qingyun's heart was in a dilemma. He couldn't make a decision for a long time. If he failed, he wouldn't have the chance to condense a 9th grade celestial realm. However, if he succeeded, he would gain a great harvest and become the Supreme Star Position Continuation. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'll go all out. After a mental struggle, Mo Qingyun made a decision and prepared to try to condense a Supreme Star Position Continuation. Immediately, Mo Qingyun let his soul wander in the void according to the description of the 33 Heavens Star Position Continuation. At this moment, Mo Qingyun released his soul and prepared to let his soul wander in the void. Buzz! The light gate martial spirit, which had been motionless, suddenly throbbed and flew out from Mo Qingyun's sea of consciousness. The light gate martial spirit flew out from Mo Qingyun's sea of consciousness and slowly opened the light gate, producing a strong suction force. Under the suction force, Mo Qingyun's soul was instantly sucked into an endless void. Where is this? Looking at the endless void in front of him, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He said in surprise, "What is the origin of the light gate martial spirit? Why did it bring my soul here? This is the 33 Heavens?" After a brief moment of confusion and bewilderment, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He knew where he was. Knowing where he was, Mo Qingyun was shocked and said, "The light gate martial spirit is getting more and more mysterious. It can connect to the 33 Heavens and with its help, these planets seem to be compatible with me." In Mo Qingyun's knowledge, a normal true immortal realm expert would have to spend a lot of effort to gain the recognition of a planet. He did not expect that with the help of the light gate martial spirit, he could skip this step. This was too shocking. In this case, I don't need to rush to choose a planet. I can compare the abilities of these planets. Mo Qingyun smiled and started to observe the planets in front of him, preparing to choose the one that was most suitable for him. Roar! As Mo Qingyun approached these planets, the planets began to emit angry roars. They were like ferocious beasts venting their anger. The Heavenly Eye Divine Cow planet can increase the power of the Eye bloodline. It's quite suitable for me. The Gale Shatter planet can increase my speed and wind power. It can also increase the power of my thunder and wind Tao. For a moment, Mo Qingyun was dazzled by the abilities of the planets in front of him. Even so, Mo Qingyun did not choose hastily. Instead, he patiently compared the abilities of each planet. After an unknown period of time, Mo Qingyun found that he had passed through a heavenly realm and arrived at a higher heavenly realm. The power of the planets in this heavenly realm is obviously stronger than the previous heavenly realm. The planets in this heavenly realm must be stronger. After this discovery, Mo Qingyun did not stop and continued to fly into the depths of the starry sky. Just like this, after flying for almost 3 days, Mo Qingyun could not go any further. I can't go any further. It seems that this is my limit. Seeing that he could not go any further, Mo Qingyun stopped and thought to himself, the power of the planets in this heavenly realm is the strongest among all the heavenly realms. I will merge with a planet here. After thinking about this, Mo Qingyun began to look around and choose a planet that was compatible with him. As Mo Qingyun approached, the planets showed signs of excitement. They were eager to merge with Mo Qingyun. Chapter 1345. After some comparison, Mo Qingyun's attention was drawn to a shining golden planet. What a rich battle intent! If I can merge with this unparalleled Aries star, the god of war transformation's power will increase exponentially. Mo Qingyun quickly thought about it, weighing how much his strength would increase if he merged with the unparalleled war god star. After a short moment of consideration, Mo Qingyun made a decision. He was prepared to merge with the unparalleled Aries star. Boom! A violent battle intent erupted from Mo Qingyun's body, rapidly changing his body shape. Before long, Mo Qingyun had become a giant that was several meters tall. His battle intent was surging. Buzz! When Mo Qingyun released his battle intent, the unparalleled Aries star resonated with him, appearing to be very excited. The unparalleled Aries god of war star shone brightly and shot into the sky. A golden figure appeared in the sky and flew toward Mo Qingyun at an extremely fast speed. Before long, the golden figure overlapped with Mo Qingyun and entered Mo Qingyun's body. The merging of the unparalleled Aries star is complete. Seeing that he had merged with the unparalleled Aries star, Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised. He started to condense the star position in his body. More than 70 million incense sticks surged out of Mo Qingyun's body and condensed rapidly, forming the shape of a small planet. This was the star position. However, Mo Qingyun's incense sticks weren't enough. Thus, the star position wasn't very complete. It was like an apple that had been bitten. As the star position was about to take shape, the golden figure started to shrink and merge with it bit by bit. As the golden figure merged with the star position, Mo Qingyun could clearly sense that his connection with the unparalleled Aries star was strengthening bit by bit. After an unknown amount of time, Mo Qingyun's compatibility with the unparalleled Aries star finally reached an extreme. At this moment, 80% of the golden figure's body had merged with the star position. The fusion between the golden figure and the star position is only close to 80%. Seeing that 80% of the golden figure's body had merged into the star position, Mo Qingyun understood the reason. He thought to himself, it looks like only by completely condensing the star position can the golden figure completely merge with it and form the true prime star position. Now that he understood the reason, Mo Qingyun was no longer in a hurry. He would wait until he collected the power of incense before perfecting the star position. Although I haven't condensed a complete star position, I can now use a portion of the star position's power. Mo Qingyun started to activate the star positions in his body. He wanted to see how much the star positions could increase his strength. Bang! A sound like a flood exploding came from Mo Qingyun's body, causing the surrounding space to tremble violently. The power of the star position erupted from Mo Qingyun's body, and it blessed Mo Qingyun's body, forming a golden shadow. So powerful! With the blessing of the star position, Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised. He raised his hand and punched forward. Mo Qingyun's ferocious spiritual energy, which was like the surging of 10,000 beasts, blasted out of his fist and directly hit the wall in front of him. Bang! Under the impact of the fist, the wall in front of him was directly pierced, and a huge hole appeared. After the fist pierced through the wall, it didn't stop there. It continued to blast into the void. After a while, a hole was blasted in the void, creating a chaotic phenomenon of space shattering. What a domineering punch! Even space was pierced. Seeing the power of his punch, Mo Qingyun was excited. He said in surprise, "With the power of my punch, even an ordinary true immortal realm expert would be crippled." After saying these words of surprise, Mo Qingyun's expression became more dignified, and there was a trace of regret in his eyes. Although the power of this punch is powerful, the consumption of the star position is too great. With my current power of the star position, I can only perform 3 punches at most. 3 punches is a little less, but each punch is enough to cripple an ordinary true immortal realm expert. It's a powerful life-saving method. Mo Qingyun thought about it and he felt relieved. The regret in his heart disappeared in an instant. Since I've obtained the inheritance of the stargazing pagoda, it's time to leave. Mo Qingyun sorted out his emotions and didn't stay any longer. His figure moved and left the room. Whoosh! As soon as Mo Qingyun walked out of the room, the scene in front of him blurred. When Mo Qingyun saw the scene clearly, he was already outside the Xingji mansion. He saw the people with blank expressions. From the looks of it, these people were the same as Mo Qingyun. They had been sent out for no reason. After a brief moment of blankness, these people smiled happily. It seemed that their harvest was not bad. Master Mo. Some sharp-eyed people saw Mo Qingyun and showed a respectful expression. They cupped their hands and bowed to Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun smiled faintly in response to everyone's reaction and nodded in response to them. As Mo Qingyun greeted everyone, figures appeared one after another. Lu Yanghu also came out with these people. "Brother Mo, you're already out." Seeing Mo Qingyun in the crowd, Lu Yanghu smiled brightly and walked quickly to Mo Qingyun. The master of the Xingji mansion is a top grade 5 immortal array master. I presume that Brother Mo's harvest was not bad? It was indeed not bad. It gave me a new understanding of the array Dao. Mo Qingyun didn't hide anything. He simply told Lu Yanghu about his harvest. Lu Yanghu and the others weren't proficient in the array Dao. Even if Mo Qingyun had obtained the inheritance, they wouldn't be jealous. With the wisdom of Lu Yanghu and the others, they all knew that the most precious thing was the inheritance that suited them. Besides, Mo Qingyun's understanding of the array Dao had improved, which would be of great help to him in the future. After a while, Cha Zun and the others came out one after another and walked toward Lu Yanghu. Among them, Xing Wushuang and Tao Chuyang were the most proud. The two of them had actually managed to break through to the true immortal realm in the extreme star mansion. Perhaps it was because their cultivation had advanced to the true immortal realm, but the two of them were more confident. They didn't hide their killing intent towards Mo Qingyun anymore. Seeing Xing Wushuang and Tao Chuyang's actions, Mo Qingyun didn't say much. He just smiled playfully. It was fine if these two didn't provoke him. If they didn't know what was good for them, he wouldn't mind letting them have a taste of the star position divine fist. Not long after Cha Zun and the others came out, Peng Li Jingyi and the others also came out. However, Peng Li and the others were clearly unlucky. They all looked very miserable, not much different from beggars. At this moment, Xing Wushuang and Jing Yi were a stark contrast to Peng Li and the others. After Peng Li and the others came out, Wang Xin, Li Wei, and the others also came out. They all looked happy and excited. Chapter 1346. Everyone, rest for a while. We'll head to the Heavenly Eye Mansion. Seeing that everyone had come out, Lu Yanghu instructed everyone and sat down cross-legged on the ground. Hearing Lu Yanghu's instructions, no one hesitated and began to recover. Several hours later, after a period of recuperation, everyone's auras had returned to their peak state. Since everyone has recovered, let's go. Seeing that everyone had recovered, Lu Yanghu glanced at everyone and took the lead to walk out. Under Lu Yanghu's command, everyone got up and left the Heavenly Eye Mansion. Mo Qingyun jumped onto the back of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle and rode with everyone. Seeing Mo Qingyun on the back of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, everyone was envious. They really wanted to have such a mount. Xing Wushuang and Tao Chuyang looked at each other. They were also envious of Mo Qingyun. More accurately, they were jealous. Now that they were true immortals, they didn't even have an immortal infant realm mount, let alone a true immortal realm mount. There was no helping it. The god race wasn't good at cultivating soul energy, and they weren't good at taming demonic beasts. It was too difficult to get a mount. They couldn't understand how Mo Qingyun, an immortal dew stage brat, managed to tame the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. Mo Qingyun has the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle by his side. Even if we break through to the true immortal realm, it won't be easy to deal with him. That's true. In order to make sure nothing goes wrong, we need to find some helpers. Pengli and Jing Yi are both unhappy with Mo Qingyun. Perhaps we can join forces with them. Now that we're true immortals, we have the ability to join forces with them. Xing Wushuang and Tao Chuyang discussed, and came to a consensus. Captain Pengli, Captain Jing Yi, the competition in the Heavenly Eye Mansion will be fierce. How about we join forces? Xing Wushuang and Tao Chuyang sneered as they suggested to Pengli and Jing Yi. At the same time, they glanced at Mo Qingyun. Pengli and Jing Yi immediately understood what they meant. They were hinting that they should join forces to deal with Mo Qingyun. Alright. Pengli agreed without hesitation after he understood Xing Wushuang's intentions. If it weren't for the existence of Lu Yanghu, he would have killed Mo Qingyun. If they had Xing Wushuang's help, they wouldn't be able to deal with Mo Qingyun even if Lu Yanghu tried to stop them. After the four of them formed an alliance, they did not stay any longer and hurriedly chased after Mo Qingyun and the others. Soon, Pengli and the others caught up and joined up with Lu Yanghu and the others. Seeing the actions of Pengli and the others, although Lu Yanghu was somewhat dissatisfied, he did not show it. After all, he had some friendship with Pengli and the others, so it was not good to make things too stiff. Perhaps it was because they feared Mo Qingyun's strength, but even though Xing Wushuang and the others had formed an alliance, they didn't dare to make a move against him immediately. Although Xing Wushuang and the other three didn't dare to make a move, their gazes couldn't help but subconsciously drift towards Mo Qingyun. Naturally, the small movements of Xing Wushuang and the others couldn't escape Mo Qingyun's senses. Although Mo Qingyun didn't say anything when he saw the small movements of Xing Wushuang and the others, he still raised his guard. After all, the four of them were true celestial realm powerhouses. A sneak attack from them would be terrifying. 2 days later, Mo Qingyun and the others arrived outside the Heavenly Eye Mansion, each with their own thoughts. At that moment, there were already people gathered outside the Heavenly Eye Mansion, looking at it expectantly. As the residence of the Heavenly Eye Mansion's owner, the Heavenly Eye Mansion definitely had the most treasures. However, it was also because of this that the Heavenly Eye Mansion's defensive power was also the strongest. Although all the powerhouses of the northern empty void mountain range had gathered there, they still couldn't break through the Heavenly Eye Mansion's array. However, there was still strength in numbers. With everyone working together, more than half of the Heavenly Eye Mansion's array was broken through. 7th Prince. When Lu Yanghu and the others arrived, they all bowed respectfully to a young man wearing a golden crown. Looking at Lu Yanghu's action, the golden-crowned youth nods and orders. Lu Yanghu, Pengli Jing Yi, let your formation masters go and help. Yes. Lu Yanghu and the others nodded and instructed Li Wei and the others to go and help. However, when Li Wei and the others went to help, Mo Qingyun remained seated on the back of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. Tao Chuyang sneered when he saw that Mo Qingyun wasn't going to help. He decided to play a trick on Mo Qingyun. Master Mo, didn't you hear that the 7th Prince wants the array masters to help break the array? That's right. Xing Wushuang chimed in. Using a strange tone, she said, Could it be that you don't place the seventh prince in your eyes and are deliberately going against the seventh prince's orders? The seventh prince's expression turned cold when he heard Xing Wushuang and Tao Chuyang's words. A true immortal golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. The seventh prince was surprised when he saw the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle that Emo Qingyun was sitting on. He couldn't help but look at Emo Qingyun and said, "You're actually able to tame the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle with your immortal dew stage cultivation. It seems like you're not simple." When the seventh prince praised Emo Qingyun, he looked at Emo Qingyun with a hint of jealousy and greed. Even though he was at the peak of the minor star realm, he didn't even have an immortal infant stage mount. How could he not be envious? Of course, the most important thing was that he was the most respected person here. How could he tolerate others suppressing him? After praising Emo Qingyun, the seventh prince's face turned cold and he said eerily, "Everyone here has to listen to this prince. You actually went against this prince's orders. Now I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself. Give the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle to this prince and obediently help them break the array. If you do, this prince can spare your life. Brat, let's see if you can survive this time." Emo Qingyun, if the seventh prince wants to deal with you, even Lu Yang who can't stop him. Brat, I'd like to see how you're going to protect the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle this time. Seeing the seventh prince's actions, Xing Wushuang and the others sneered and gloated in their hearts. In their opinion, Emo Qingyun could only submit to the seventh prince's authority and accept his death. "Are you trying to scare me?" Emo Qingyun shook his head and glanced at the seventh prince with disdain. He said, "If you persuade me nicely, maybe I'll help you break the array. But if you want to order me around, that's impossible." Seeing Emo Qingyun contradicting him, the seventh prince snorted and his face turned even colder. He said, "Brat, this prince will give you one last chance. Are you going to submit or not?" "Brother Emo, although a mount of the true immortal realm is precious, it's not worth losing your life for it." Lu Yang who looked anxious and hurried to persuade Emo Qingyun, hoping that Emo Qingyun would submit to the seventh prince's order. Chapter 1347. Captain Lu, thank you for taking care of me these past few days. However, it's impossible for me to submit to him. Emo Qingyun's expression was firm as he rejected Lu Yang whose suggestion. He turned to look at the seventh prince and said, "You want to steal my golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle? Bring it on. Your words alone won't do. You're courting death." The seventh prince was enraged. He immediately charged at Emo Qingyun. Emo Qingyun knew that with so many people talking back to him, if he didn't act, how could he maintain his dignity? Seeing the seventh prince attack Emo Qingyun, Tao Chuyang and the other three sneered. Their expressions were filled with schadenfreude. Perhaps it was to curry favor with the seventh prince, but Tao Chuyang stepped forward and smiled flatteringly at the seventh prince. "Seventh prince, you don't need to personally deal with such a small character. Let us deal with him." Seeing Tao Chuyang take the initiative to volunteer, the seventh prince's expression improved. He nodded in tacit agreement. Seeing that the seventh prince agreed, Tao Chuyang didn't rush forward rashly. Instead, he exchanged a glance with Xing Wushuang. "Wushuang, you restrain the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. I'll kill Emo Qingyun." "Okay." Xing Wushuang nodded. She agreed with Tao Chuyang's suggestion and prepared to work together to take down Mo Qingyun. As for Pringli and Jing Yi, a cold smile appeared on their faces. They were on guard against Lu Yang whose help. "Brother Emo, let the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle block for a while. Hurry up and run for your life." Seeing this scene, Lu Yanghu and Cha Zun were anxious. They were worried for Emo Qingyun. Because of the seventh prince, although the two of them were worried, they didn't dare to help. "Emo Qingyun, now that you don't have Lu Yanghu's protection, I'm going to break your limbs." Tao Chu Yang had a vile expression on his face as he walked with Xing Wushuang to Emo Qingyun's side. Looking at Tao Chu Yang's appearance, Emo Qingyun curled his lips in disdain. His expression revealed a hint of mockery as he said, "If that's the case, I can't do nothing. I'll break all 5 of your legs." 5 legs? Tao Chuyang's expression froze. He did not understand what Emo Qingyun meant. While Tao Chuyang was puzzled, Lu Yanghu laughed and shook his head. "Brother Emo is truly courageous. Even under such circumstances, you are still able to joke around. This must be his nature. He has been so humorous since the first time I met him." Chagong smiled faintly. Seeing Emo Qingyun's performance, the two of them were less worried about Emo Qingyun. Hearing the laughter of the people around him, Tao Chu Yang understood what Emo Qingyun meant. His face became even more gloomy. "Brat, you still dare to boast shamelessly when you're about to die. I'm going to beat you up until you become a woman," Tao Chu Yang shouted angrily. He stopped arguing with Emo Qingyun and attacked Emo Qingyun together with Xing Wushuang. Shadow Ray. Xing Wushuang arrived in front of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. Her body turned into a ray of black light, circling around the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle and attacking it rapidly. Under Xing Wushuang's constant attacks, the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle panicked. It tried its best to block Xing Wushuang's attacks. However, although the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle blocked Xing Wushuang's attacks, it could not protect Emo Qingyun on its back. Chaotic Sky Demon's Staff. A long black iron staff danced in Tao Chu Yang's hand, turning into a sky full of staff shadows that attacked Emo Qingyun from all directions. The moment these staff shadows appeared, the space began to tremble, as if it could not withstand the impact of the staff shadows. If nothing unexpected happened, Emo Qingyun would definitely be crippled if he was hit by these staff shadows. Tao Chu Yang swept his staff at Emo Qingyun. He smiled proudly and said loudly, "Emo Qingyun, now that you don't have the help of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, let's see how you block my staff." Star Position Divine Fist. Looking at the proud Tao Chu Yang, Emo Qingyun did not want to waste time talking nonsense with him. He directly threw a punch at him. A golden light instantly burst out from Emo Qingyun's body and enveloped Emo Qingyun's entire body. Immediately, a dazzling golden light burst out from Emo Qingyun's fist. The golden light burst out from Emo Qingyun's fist and formed a golden fist shadow that bombarded Tao Chu Yang. Puff, puff, puff. The golden fist shadow was too overbearing. Under its violent impact, the staff shadows that filled the sky were instantly destroyed. After the golden fist shadow destroyed the staff shadows, its attack power did not decrease in the slightest. It continued to bombard Tao Chu Yang. How could this be? Facing this sudden change, Tao Chu Yang's expression began to twitch. His expression revealed a look of horror. He never thought that someone with an immortal dew stage cultivation could burst out with such terrifying combat strength. Bang! Without waiting for Tao Chu Yang to regain his senses, the golden fist shadow hit him. It just so happened that it hit his lower body. Then, the crisp sound of an egg shattering entered everyone's ears. Seeing Tao Chu Yang's performance, the surrounding people trembled. They felt a chill in their lower bodies. So painful. Tao Chu Yang. Seeing Tao Chu Yang being sent flying by Emo Qingyun's punch, Xing Wushuang's pretty face turned pale. She hurriedly retreated. She did not want to be like Tao Chu Yang and receive such a punch. Tao Chu Yang was indeed a true immortal stage powerhouse. Even if his little brother was crippled, he still managed to preserve his life. "Little bastard, I'm going to kill you." Tao Chu Yang used a strange voice to let out an angry roar. His eyes were spitting flames of anger. Emo Qingyun, this guy, actually crippled him and changed his voice. Hearing Tao Chu Yang's voice, Emo Qingyun laughed dryly. He pretended to spread his hands apologetically. "I'm sorry. I hit you a little too hard just now and directly destroyed your fifth penis. Ha ha. Hearing Emo Qingyun's words, the surrounding people roared with laughter. At this moment, they could not help but admire Emo Qingyun. Emo Qingyun was really too pretentious. Since you want to break the array, I won't disturb you anymore. I'll come back to find you after you've broken the array. Emo Qingyun mocked Tao Chuyang. After saying this, his figure flashed and flew into the distance. As soon as Emo Qingyun finished speaking, he turned into a stream of light and disappeared before everyone's eyes. Seeing Emo Qingyun disappear in the blink of an eye, the crowd felt helpless. The golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle was one of the fastest flying demonic beasts. Even the seventh prince's speed could not compare. Therefore, the crowd could only stare helplessly at Emo Qingyun's escape. Kid, the next time I see you, I'll definitely kill you. Seeing that he had been tricked by Emo Qingyun, the seventh prince's expression darkened. He unconsciously clenched his fists tightly. What he could not tolerate the most was that Emo Qingyun had actually said that he would come back after the array was broken. What did he mean by that? Was he using them as laborers? Was he going to help him break the spiritual I Mansion's array? More importantly, even though he knew Emo Qingyun's intentions, he had to break the spiritual I Mansion's array. Chapter 1348. Emo Qingyun did not go too far after leaving the Divine I Mansion. Seeing that the seventh prince and the rest did not chase after him, Emo Qingyun used the hidden door and returned to the vicinity of the Divine I Mansion. Returning to the vicinity of the Heavenly I Manor, Emo Qingyun saw the seventh prince and the others still breaking the Heavenly I Manor's formation. Under their continuous attacks, the formation of the Divine I Mansion was broken more and more. The true face of the Divine I Mansion was gradually revealed. At this rate, the formation of the Divine I Mansion will be broken in a day. Seeing the progress of the seventh prince and the rest, Emo Qingyun smiled brightly as he leaned on the branch of an ancient tree. The seventh prince and the rest did not know that Emo Qingyun had returned. They were focused on breaking the formation. Following that, time passed bit by bit just like that. After a day, the formation of the Divine I Mansion was finally broken under the efforts of the seventh prince and the rest. The formation has been broken. The seventh prince was overjoyed when he saw that the formation had been broken. He walked towards the Divine I Mansion. However, just as the seventh prince entered the Divine I Mansion, a figure flashed past him. Thank you for breaking the formation. I will go in first. The figure in front of the seventh prince rushed into the Divine I Mansion, leaving behind a mocking remark. Everyone's expression changed when they heard the remark. They were shocked and said, Emo Qingyun. That person is Emo Qingyun. He did not leave the Divine I Mansion. Emo Qingyun is so bold. He actually came back. Peng Li was shocked. He did not expect Emo Qingyun to return and enter the Divine I Mansion first. He originally thought that Emo Qingyun's words were just arrogant words. He did not expect Emo Qingyun to really come back and successfully enter the Divine I Mansion. Emo Qingyun came back to the Divine I Mansion. He is seeking his own death. Tao Chuyang's expression became ferocious when he thought about how his little brother had been destroyed. He did not hide his killing intent. Let's enter the Divine I Mansion. If anyone kills Emo Qingyun, I will reward them handsomely. After being played by Emo Qingyun again, the seventh prince's hatred for Emo Qingyun increased several times. Soon after, the seventh prince and the others entered the Heavenly I Mansion and began to search for treasures. The Divine I Mansion's structure was strange. It was like a huge maze. It was complicated and it made it impossible to find a way out. Apart from that, there were also many pairs of strange eyes in the maze. Buzz. While walking in this maze, Emo Qingyun was suddenly stared at by a pair of eyes. His consciousness immediately buzzed. Then, Emo Qingyun discovered that his consciousness had entered a dark cage. In this cage, Mo Qingyun was attacked by the iron chains one after another, and was instantly locked down by these iron chains. What a terrifying eye attack! Being attacked by this eye, Mo Qingyun was immediately shocked. He had a bold idea. If my heavenly soul magic eye can also use this kind of attack, my battle strength will definitely increase by several times. Thinking about this, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated. He began to observe the iron chain attack in front of him, thinking about how to use it for himself. While Mo Qingyun was observing the iron chains, he transformed his soul power into sharp blades and bombarded the iron chains. Clang, 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 the chains started being cut apart by the soul blade radiance, and they turned into wisps of pure soul power. A moment later, Mo Qingyun's consciousness broke free from the cage and returned to reality. When his consciousness returned to reality, Mo Qingyun still had lingering fear. The situation just now was too thrilling. If it weren't for the fact that he was also skilled in soul cultivation, he would have been trapped in this iron cage by now. The cage attack just now was the method of the Deva Eye Mansion's owner. It is indeed very powerful. Thinking back to the cage attack just now, Mo Qingyun's expectations for the inheritance of the Deva Eye Mansion grew stronger and stronger. After breaking free from the iron chain attack, Mo Qingyun continued to move forward, searching for the inheritance of the Deva Eye Mansion. Not long after, Mo Qingyun came to a small room and saw a golden puppet. This puppet only had one eye. The eye flashed with a sharp light, giving people a dangerous feeling. Da-da-da, when the puppet saw Mo Qingyun, it began to move and quickly approached Mo Qingyun. Facing the puppet's attack, Mo Qingyun didn't dare to be careless. He quickly blocked the puppet's attack. Heavenly Flame's sky-breaking halberd. Mo Qingyun held the immortal burning halberd and slashed at the puppet without hesitation, blasting out a violent flame energy. In the face of this flame attack, the puppet quickly retreated and dodged Mo Qingyun's halberd. This movement technique? Seeing the puppet dodge the flame halberd light, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. The movement technique that the puppet was using was a combination of the rushing thunder wind Dao's traceless demon shadow. It was a new dodging movement technique. This movement technique was something that Mo Qingyun had only recently comprehended. It was something unique to Mo Qingyun. Now that the puppet had mastered this movement technique, it was too strange. However, before Mo Qingyun could recover, a flame halberd light blasted towards him. The puppet's arm changed into the shape of a halberd and slashed down at Mo Qingyun in a domineering manner. This is the Heavenly Flame's halberd. Seeing the puppet's performance, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He was shocked by the puppet's performance. If one were to say that the puppet knew his new movement technique, it would be a coincidence. Then, now that the puppet knew the Heavenly Flame's halberd, it wasn't as simple as a coincidence. However, the current situation was not for Mo Qingyun to think too much. Traceless demon shadow. Seeing the puppet attack him again, Mo Qingyun didn't dare to hold back anymore. He immediately dodged the puppet's attack. Following that, Mo Qingyun tangled with the puppet, attacking each other. The more Mo Qingyun fought with the puppet, the more he discovered the puppet's strangeness. He discovered that no matter what kind of technique he used, the puppet could learn it immediately. This discovery gave Mo Qingyun quite a fright. This puppet actually had such a technique. While Mo Qingyun was shocked, he also discovered the reason why the puppet mastered this technique. Its eyes. Mo Qingyun discovered that every time he used an attack, the puppet's eyes would flash with a dim light. Which was also to say that this puppet's eyes had the ability to replicate other people's attack. Attack its eyes. Seeing the puppet's extraordinary eyes, Mo Qingyun had a countermeasure and knew how to deal with this puppet. Following that, Mo Qingyun engaged in close-quarters combat with the puppet, searching for an opportunity to destroy the puppet's eyes. Eye light blade light. After fighting with the puppets for another hour, Mo Qingyun finally found an opportunity. A saber light burst out of his right eye. Facing this blade light attack, the puppet was caught off guard. The puppet's eyes were instantly destroyed. Chapter 1349. After killing the puppet, Mo Qingyun continued deeper into the omen of divine eyes until he reached a fork in the road. Mo Qingyun stood at the fork in the road. He saw many people in front of him, as if their consciousness had been imprisoned. It seems that I've lost my way. Looking at the people in front of him, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly. He realized that he was in a terrible situation. He was the first to enter the omen of divine eyes, but now he was behind the others. It was obvious that he had gone back. Realizing that he had lost his way, Mo Qingyun was not in a hurry to move forward. Instead, he thought about how to prevent himself from getting lost. I've got it. After thinking for a while, Mo Qingyun's eyes lit up. He thought of a solution. As long as I leave different marks in different places of the maze, I won't be able to go back to the original path. What should I use as a mark? Mo Qingyun stroked his chin. He wanted to use a permanent and special method to mark himself. After thinking for a while, Mo Qingyun had an idea. He began to leave marks. In the Extreme Star Mansion, I discovered a new use for formation runes. If I use formation runes as a mark, it shouldn't be easily discovered. Moreover, it can be maintained for a long time. Soon, a strange and obscure formation rune was left on the wall of the maze by Mo Qingyun. After leaving the formation rune mark, Mo Qingyun continued to walk deeper into the maze. With the help of the formation rune, Mo Qingyun did not have to take many unnecessary detours. His progress in the maze was much faster. Even so, some of the luckier people were still ahead of Mo Qingyun. A few hours later, Mo Qingyun finally made it through the maze at his fastest speed. After passing through the maze, Mo Qingyun came to a garden and saw a familiar figure. Tao Chuyang. Seeing Tao Chuyang in front of him, Mo Qingyun was slightly stunned. He did not expect to meet him here. After a brief moment of surprise, Mo Qingyun's face turned cold, and his body emitted a murderous aura. This Tao Chuyang had schemed against him again and again. If he didn't get rid of him, Mo Qingyun wouldn't be able to quell the anger in his heart. Tao Chuyang's thoughts were the same as Mo Qingyun's. He wanted to get rid of Mo Qingyun as soon as possible. As the saying goes, when enemies meet, their eyes blaze with hatred. Tao Chuyang immediately gnashed his teeth as he looked at Mo Qingyun, who was not far away. His eyes were filled with anger. Although he was powerful, his little brother had been destroyed by Mo Qingyun, and he had no way to recover it. This kind of pain was too cruel to him. Mo Qingyun, I'm going to cut you into 10,000 pieces later. I'm going to cut your fifth leg into 100 pieces. Tao Chuyang's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. There are too many experts from the divine race in the residence of divine eyes. We need to end this quickly. Mo Qingyun's heart was as clear as a mirror. He knew that he had to kill Tao Chuyang quickly. Otherwise, once someone came, it would be difficult for him to kill Tao Chuyang. Sealed door. A miniature version of the Door of Light formed in front of Mo Qingyun and shot toward Tao Chuyang. Facing the bombardment of the sealed door, Tao Chuyang curled his lips in disdain and mocked. Mo Qingyun, this level of attack can't cause me any harm, unless you use that punch from last time again. Before Tao Chuyang could finish his sentence, his eyes widened, and a look of terror appeared on his face. His cultivation level began to drop. In the blink of an eye, he fell from the true immortal realm to the peak of the immortal infant realm. Peak of the immortal infant realm. Sensing Tao Chuyang's aura, Mo Qingyun's lips curled up slightly. His eyes were filled with mockery. I don't need to use the divine star position fist to deal with you. Ordinary methods are enough. Blood Chi Berserk. God of War Transformation. Displaying two great divine abilities in succession, The aura emanating from Mo Qingyun's body instantly skyrocketed by several levels. Before long, Mo Qingyun's aura reached the level of the immortal infant stage. The aura of the immortal infant realm. What kind of ability is this? Sensing the change in Mo Qingyun's aura, Tao Chu Yang's expression changed again. He exclaimed, "You've been hiding your strength all this time. You really hid it well. It's too late for you to know." Mo Qingyun bit his lip. The sneer on his face deepened as he charged toward Tao Chu Yang. Demonic vanishing shadow. Mo Qingyun turned into an afterimage. After a few flashes, he arrived in front of Tao Chu Yang. Then, Mo Qingyun waved his huge arm and smashed it toward Tao Chu Yang. In the face of Mo Qingyun's palm strike, Tao Chu Yang sneered and waved the black staff in his hand to block it. "Mo Qingyun, you're too arrogant. You dare to take my immortal artifact, the Chaos Heaven Staff, head-on with just your fleshly body? Chaos Heaven Demonic Staff." Tao Chu Yang swung his staff. The black staff glowed brightly and turned into an overbearing staff shadow. When these staff shadows appeared, they charged toward Mo Qingyun's arm to block Mo Qingyun's attack. Bang! 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 When the staff shadows hit Mo Qingyun's arm, they were instantly destroyed by his arm and turned into balls of black spiritual energy. Mo Qingyun's arm did not stop as it continued to bombard Tao Chu Yang after destroying the staff shadows that filled the sky. Clang! His arm struck the black club, and a crisp sound rang out, exploding out with a terrifying power. This force exploded and passed through the black staff into Tao Chu Yang's body. Then, Tao Chu Yang's body flew backward and slammed heavily into the maze's wall. How can this be? How can you be so strong? Seeing that he was easily defeated by Mo Qingyun, Tao Chu Yang's face was filled with shock. He could not believe that this was real. He was a powerhouse in the true immortal realm. Even if his cultivation was sealed by Mo Qingyun's divine ability, his comprehension of the true immortal realm was still there. Even so, in front of Mo Qingyun, he could not resist at all. This scene was too abnormal. Mo Qingyun did not care about Tao Chu Yang's feelings. All he wanted was to kill Tao Chu Yang as quickly as possible. After sending Tao Chu Yang flying with his palm, Mo Qingyun did not stop. He continued to attack Tao Chu Yang. Whoosh! Mo Qingyun's body flashed and appeared in front of Tao Chu Yang again. He slapped Tao Chu Yang again. Mo Qingyun's attack was too fast. Before Tao Chu Yang could react, he was hit by Mo Qingyun's palm again. Following that, Tao Chu Yang was like a rubber ball, sent flying in all directions by Mo Qingyun. In the face of Mo Qingyun's storm-like attacks, Tao Chu Yang became half-dead in just a short while. No way, this must be an illusion. Tao Chu Yang's face was filled with madness. Based on the combat strength Mo Qingyun had just displayed, even a powerhouse in the star position stage might not be able to defeat him. An immortal dew stage cultivator with combat strength comparable to a true immortal realm star position stage cultivator was too terrifying. Looking at the mud-like Tao Chu Yang under his feet, Mo Qingyun's left eye flashed and a ball of black light shot out. This ball of black light shot out and quickly blasted into Tao Chu Yang's head, attacking his soul. This attack is like the iron chain cage in the omniscient Eye Palace's maze. Tao Chu Yang's face was filled with fear as his soul was attacked. His eyes gradually turned hollow. Chapter 1350. It's still lacking a little. Mo Qingyun sighed as he looked at his iron chain cage. He wasn't satisfied with the power of the iron chain cage. Tao Chu Yang's soul cultivation wasn't high. It wasn't even at the 5th level of the sky human realm. But even so, under the attacks of the iron chain cage, he still managed to hold on for a few breaths without dying. It could be seen that Mo Qingyun's iron chain cage wasn't very powerful. If it was an attack on a true immortal realm soul cultivator, it would probably be like scratching an itch. It seems like my own comprehension can't compare to the inheritance. Mo Qingyun concluded. He kept Tao Chu Yang's corpse and continued to venture deeper into the Divine Eye Manor. After passing through the labyrinth, Mo Qingyun's speed was much faster. However, Mo Qingyun felt helpless. The Divine Eye Manor was filled with layers of illusions and was extremely spacious. It would be difficult for him to find the inheritance of the Divine Eye Manor's owner in a short period of time. Dong dong dong, a series of hurried footsteps entered Mo Qingyun's ears. Then, Mo Qingyun saw two huge figures chasing after a familiar figure. Cha Zue. Mo Qingyun frowned as he looked at the fleeing figure. He quickly rushed towards Cha Zue. Mo Qingyun could see that Cha Zue was severely injured. If he didn't help, Cha Zue would be killed at any time. Heaven's soul, heaven's sealing fist. Arriving in front of the two huge figures, Mo Qingyun punched out without hesitation. A shining fist shadow was blasted out. A huge fist aura descended from the sky and hit the two huge figures below, sealing them where they were. Brother Mo. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had resolved his crisis, Cha Zue revealed a surprised smile. He quickly walked in front of Mo Qingyun. The cultivation of these two puppets is close to that of a true Immortal Realm minor star cultivator. How did you provoke them? Based on Mo Qingyun's understanding of Qigong, he didn't think Qigong would be so impulsive and take such a risk. It's not that I want to provoke them. I just want to borrow their strength to resolve Captain Lu's crisis. Qigong looked helpless. His eyes dimmed as if he thought Lu Yanghu was dead for sure. It would appear that Lu Yanghu's current situation was very dangerous. Otherwise, Qigong would not have taken the risk to lure two true Immortal Realm Lesser Stars puppets here. As for asking Mo Qingyun for help, Qigong did not even consider it. He did not want to involve Mo Qingyun in this. One must know that the people who were dealing with Lu Yanghu were four true Immortal level expert. Lu Yanghu was already seriously injured by the four of them and could only barely deal with one of them. As such, even if Mo Qingyun went to help, it would not be of much use. Captain Lu, what's wrong? Mo Qingyun's expression turned solemn, and he hurriedly asked Qigong. He had a good impression of Lu Yanghu. Now that he knew the man was in danger, it was only right for him to lend him a hand. Qigong sighed when Mo Qingyun asked about Lu Yanghu. His eyes flashed with anger as he said, "It's because Captain Lu has been shielding and protecting you in Clear Wind Mansion and Extreme Star Mansion. Xing Wushuang, Peng Li, and the others were dissatisfied with him. They couldn't find you for revenge, so they vented their anger on Captain Lu." Next, Cha Zun gave Mo Qingyun a rough account of what had happened. This was the gist of what had happened. Xing Wushuang had taken advantage of Lu Yanghu's trust in her and let his guard down, allowing her to find an opportunity to launch a sneak attack on Lu Yanghu. Even with Lu Yanghu's cultivation, he was severely injured by Xing Wushuang's attack. After Xing Wushuang had injured Lu Yanghu, Peng Li and the others, who had been plotting with Xing Wushuang, began to attack Lu Yanghu. During this time, Lu Yanghu took the opportunity to send Qigong away so that he could find help for him. Unfortunately, the people in the Omniscient Eye Mansion rejected Qigong's request for help. In everyone's opinion, it was not worth offending Peng Li and the others for the sake of a half-dead Lu Yanghu. Qigong had no choice but to take the risk and activate the two true Immortal Stage Lesser Star puppets to interfere with Peng Li and the others. Who would have thought that the two true Immortal Stage Lesser Star puppets were so powerful that he was no match for them? In just a short moment, he was caught up by the two puppets and almost died in the hands of the two puppets. If Mo Qingyun had not appeared in time, it would not have taken long for him to die here. I see. Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold when he heard what had happened from Qigong. He looked apologetic as he said, "It seems like I've harmed Captain Lu. If that's the case, I can't just stand by and do nothing. Brother Qigong, where is Captain Lu now?" Thinking of Lu Yanghu's current situation, Mo Qingyun did not dare to delay any longer. He quickly asked for Lu Yanghu's location. Chagong's expression changed when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. He understood what Mo Qingyun wanted to do. Chagong advised, "Brother Mo, although you are not weak, Pengli and the others are not Tao Chuyang's match. If you go to save him, you will only get yourself killed. This is all because of me. I will not shirk my responsibility. Tell me where Captain Lu is." Mo Qingyun's expression was resolute as he expressed his decision. When Mo Qingyun expressed his determination, he looked at the two puppets and realized that the sky-sealing soul fist was about to be broken. The sky-sealing soul fist. Why don't we leave this place immediately after the two puppets break it? Mo Qingyun placed his right hand on Chagong's shoulder and immediately led him out of this place to rescue Lu Yanghu. The place where Lu Yanghu and Xing Wushuang were fighting wasn't very far from Chagong's current position. A few minutes later, Mo Qingyun and Chagong arrived at the place where Lu Yanghu and the others were fighting. Lu Yanghu was battered and exhausted. His aura was in disarray, and even a portion of his star position had been shattered. If Mo Qingyun had not arrived, he would have died at the hands of Xing Wushuang and the others. "Xing Wushuang, I treated you well. How could you treat me like this?" Lu Yanghu was furious as he recalled how he had taken care of Xing Wushuang. He also felt a strong sense of regret. If he had known this would happen, he would have left Xing Wushuang to her own devices when he had first met her. "We are here, Captain Lu." Mo Qingyun and Chagong arrived at Lu Yanghu's side in a flash. Cha Zhao came before Lu Yanghu with an ashamed expression on his face. He explained to Lu Yanghu, "Captain Lu, I asked many people for help, but none of them were willing to help. Only Brother Mo knew that you were in danger and decided to risk his life to save you." Lu Yanghu's expression turned complicated when he heard Chagong's words. He also felt an intense sense of gratitude. "Thank you, Brother Mo." Lu Yanghu's heart was filled with complex emotions. There were thousands of words that were difficult to express. He could only express his gratitude. Chapter 1351. Mo Qingyun, you've got guts. You actually dared to come and save Lu Yanghu. Xing Wushuang's pretty face turned cold and a sinister smile appeared on her face. She looked as if she had a card up her sleeve. "That's good too. This time, we'll get rid of all three of you in one fell swoop and save us the trouble of looking for you one by one." "Brother Mo, I've harmed you." Lu Yanghu sighed guiltily. He walked in front of Mo Qingyun and said with a look of farewell, "I'll hold them off for a while. Brother Mo, you and Chagao should leave quickly. I'm already very grateful that you've come to save me. There's no point in being sentimental. Today, none of you can leave. I'll give you some time. If you have anything else to say, hurry up and finish it." "That's right. If the seventh prince comes, he won't give you any time to talk nonsense." Pengli and the others sneered. Their expressions were playful, as if they were hunters toying with their prey. Lu Yanghu's expression turned serious when he heard their words. He said in a pleading tone, "Pengli, Xing Wushuang, Jing Yi, Lin Kanglin, if there's anything, just come at me. Don't make things difficult for Chagao and Mo Qingyun." "Lu Yanghu, do you think you're still that Captain Lu?" Xing Wushuang smiled disdainfully. She arrogantly raised her head and looked at Lu Yanghu like a vile person intoxicated by success. "Right now, you are no longer qualified to bargain with us. Today, all of you will die." Lu Yanghu was furious. He glared at Xing Wushuang, not knowing what to say. This woman was actually so vicious. "Captain Lu, you don't need to waste your breath on them. Just leave everything to me." Mo Qingyun remained calm when he saw the angry Lu Yanghu. He patted Lu Yanghu's shoulder. Mo Qingyun signaled Lu Yanghu not to be angry and walked to the front. He glanced at Xing Wushuang and the others and said, "I forgot to tell you that before I came here, I just killed Tao Chuyang. Now, you can go accompany him. Mo Qingyun killed Tao Chuyang? The expressions of Xing Wushuang and the others changed when they heard Mo Qingyun's words. Some fear appeared on their faces. If that was the case, Mo Qingyun would go all out, and their situation would not be good. The corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly when he saw the changes in the expressions of Xing Wushuang and the others. He summoned the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle and said, "All of you are right. In order to prevent the arrival of the seventh prince, I should indeed seize the time to eliminate all of you. Captain Liu, keep Xing Wushuang busy. Leave the rest to me and the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he charged towards Peng Li and the other two, taking the initiative to attack Peng Li. After hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Liu Yanghu didn't dare hesitate and rushed toward Xing Wushuang. Seeing Mo Qingyun and Liu Yanghu make a move, Chagong did not hesitate and went to help Liu Yanghu. The sealed door. A small and exquisite door of light quickly formed in front of Mo Qingyun and blasted toward Peng Li. The sealed door was extremely fast. It arrived in the blink of an eye and blasted toward Peng Li. After being hit by the sealed door, Peng Li's cultivation was immediately sealed. His aura began to fall rapidly. In a short while, Peng Li's aura fell to the level of a late-stage immortal infant. My cultivation. Seeing his cultivation fall, Peng Li's face was filled with terror. He was quite frightened by this situation. Not only was Peng Li frightened, but Jing Yi and Liu Yanghu were also quite frightened when they saw this. They had never seen a method to seal someone's cultivation. Even if my cultivation is sealed, with your mid-stage immortal dew cultivation, you are still no match for us. Peng Li calmed the panic in his heart and glared viciously at Mo Qingyun as he spoke coldly. However, as soon as he finished speaking, he sensed that Mo Qingyun's aura began to change. Blood Qi Berserk, God of War transformation. After using the Blood Qi Berserk, Mo Qingyun used the God of War transformation to increase his battle prowess. Following this, Mo Qingyun's body began to change. He began to grow rapidly. In the blink of an eye, Mo Qingyun turned from a handsome youth into a demon god of war who was several meters tall. What kind of technique is this? Could it be Mo Qingyun's natural mystique? His aura has risen to the immortal infant stage. His mystique can actually raise his battle prowess by 2 stages. What kind of bloodline does this kid have? Could it be a bloodline of the 10,000 ancient races? At this moment, Peng Li and the others felt an instinctive fear toward Mo Qingyun. Bloodline suppression. Just as Peng Li and the others were feeling fearful, Mo Qingyun used another mystique. This was the natural mystique of the heavenly soul demons. Suddenly, a devilish blood-red light blossomed from Mo Qingyun's body. It transformed into a blood-red mist that spread out. Pft, pft, pft. Peng Li and the others were enveloped by the bloody mist and immediately spat out a mouthful of blood. Their faces were filled with intense fear. At this moment, they were certain that Mo Qingyun's bloodline power was from the 10,000 ancient races. Only a bloodline from the 10,000 ancient races could possess such a terrifying bloodline suppression. Brother Mo is so powerful. His background is indeed not simple. Seeing Mo Qingyun's domineering attitude, Liu Yanghu and Cha Zun were overjoyed. They were looking forward to escaping. At this moment, they couldn't help but think that Mo Qingyun might really be able to save them. Demonic traceless shadow. Under everyone's shocked gazes, Mo Qingyun moved and charged toward Peng Li. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed. He disappeared from where he stood and appeared in front of Peng Li, sky-breaking halberd. When Mo Qingyun arrived in front of Peng Li, he waved the immortal burning halberd and stabbed toward Peng Li. The red immortal burning halberd approached at an extremely fast speed and exploded with a terrifying flame energy that caused the surrounding space to tremble. Peng Li, be careful. Seeing Mo Qingyun charging toward Peng Li, Jing Yi and Cha Zun's expressions changed and they hurriedly warned Peng Li. Jing Yi reminded Peng Li and rushed toward Peng Li. He wanted to resolve Peng Li's current crisis. As for Lin Songlan, he was entangled by the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle and could not help Peng Li, soaring dragon rising moonblade. Seeing the immortal burning halberd approaching, Peng Li did not dare to hesitate and hurriedly waved the blade in his hand. Peng Li waved his blade and a green light bloomed from his body. It was like a green dragon soaring into the sky to meet the incoming immortal burning halberd. Seeing Peng Li's action, the corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly, revealing a hint of mockery. Then, Mo Qingyun moved and appeared behind Peng Li. He continued to attack Peng Li with the immortal burning halberd. Seeing that Mo Qingyun suddenly disappeared, Peng Li's expression twitched and he felt a strong sense of uneasiness. Pucci. However, before Peng Li could react, his back was hit by a flame energy. After being hit by the immortal burning halberd, Peng Li's body was directly penetrated and burned into a dried corpse. Peng Li was instantly killed by Mo Qingyun. Chapter 1352. At this moment, Jing Yi and the other two were stunned. They couldn't believe this was real. Although Mo Qingyun's method made them feel very strange, it also made them very apprehensive. But they didn't expect that Mo Qingyun could kill Peng Li in the blink of an eye. Mo Qingyun, I won't let you go. Peng Li's angry voice came from the top of his head as his body was burned by the immortal burning halberd. Then, Mo Qingyun saw a light gray figure fly out of Peng Li's head. Peng Li's soul was out of his body. Seeing Peng Li's soul escape, Mo Qingyun's lips curled up. His face showed a trace of mockery. Just in time, I won't let you go either. You should stay here obediently. Sword light from his eyes. While Mo Qingyun was speaking, a purple light flashed in his left eye, and a saber light burst forth at an extremely fast speed. The attack speed of the sword light was very fast. Before Peng Li and the others could react, it destroyed Peng Li's soul. Pucci. Peng Li's soul was instantly destroyed by the sword light and turned into a ball of pure soul energy that floated between heaven and earth. Peng Li was completely dead. Even his soul couldn't escape. Looking at what happened in the blink of an eye, Jing Yi and the others couldn't react. Because everything happened too fast. In just a few breaths of time, Mo Qingyun had forcefully killed Peng Li, instantly reversing the situation. If they didn't see it with their own eyes, they wouldn't dare to believe it was true. Brother Mo is mighty. Well done. Haha, we're saved. Seeing Mo Qingyun kill Peng Li, Lu Yonghu and Cha Zun laughed. They felt a sense of joy. Without Peng Li's existence, the situation became 3 against 3. On the surface, no one had the upper hand. But Jing Yi and Peng Li's strength were on par. Since Mo Qingyun could kill Peng Li, he could definitely kill Jing Yi. Now it's your turn. After throwing Peng Li's body into the 5 Directions Tower, Mo Qingyun turned to look at Jing Yi. Noticing that Mo Qingyun is looking at him, Jing Yi's expression turns tense. He instinctively retreats. The pressure that Mo Qingyun gave him was too strong. Even the 7th prince did not have this kind of strong pressure. Jing Yi is sure that Mo Qingyun's bloodline is stronger than the 7th prince's. The sealed door. Mo Qingyun looks at Jing Yi. He doesn't want to talk nonsense with Jing Yi. He just uses the sealed door on him. A small door of light appears in front of Mo Qingyun and moves toward Jing Yi. Looking at the incoming sealed door, Jing Yi is terrified. He hurriedly tries to block it. However, the result was futile. His obstruction was completely ineffective against the sealed gate. Pucci. The sealed door penetrates Jing Yi's attack and enters his body. It starts to seal his soul and flesh. Then, Jing Yi's aura drops to the level of the late immortal infant stage. Run. Seeing his cultivation drop, Jing Yi doesn't dare to stay any longer. he immediately turns around and prepares to flee. He is very clear that from the current situation, if he doesn't leave, he will be killed just like Peng Li. Vanishing Shadow. Seeing that Jing Yi wants to flee, Mo Qingyun flashes and appears behind Jing Yi. So fast. Seeing Mo Qingyun appear behind him, Jing Yi's expression immediately changes. However, he doesn't have time to think anymore, because Mo Qingyun's attack is coming. Soul leaving body. Facing Mo Qingyun's attack, Jing Yi is even more decisive than Peng Li. He directly chooses to eject his soul. Then Jing Yi's soul disappears, leaving behind an unconscious body. He escaped. Seeing that Jing Yi's soul disappears, Mo Qingyun is slightly startled. He is a bit surprised by this result. He didn't expect Jing Yi to have such a life-saving method. However, this is nothing to Mo Qingyun. At least he has eliminated Jing Yi's threat. Since Jing Yi is also eliminated, the next thing he needs to do is to deal with Xing Wushuang. Mo Qingyun throws Jing Yi's body into the 5 Directions Pagoda. Then he goes to deal with Lin Songlan. After a few flashes, Mo Qingyun arrived in front of Lin Kanglan and stabbed out with his halberd. Golden Snake Halberd. Mo Qingyun stabs with his halberd and his body disappears. Even his aura disappears. This feeling is as if Mo Qingyun has disappeared into thin air. It's as if he was never there. Seeing that he can't sense Mo Qingyun's existence, Lin Songlan is startled and looks around. Pucci. However, before Lin Songlan can react, his chest is stabbed by the immortal burning halberd. The immortal burning halberd stabs Lin Songlan and Mo Qingyun's figure gradually appears in Lin Songlan's line of sight. Lin Songlan's eyes widen. He can't believe that he can't resist Mo Qingyun's attack at all. Without waiting for Lin Songlan to speak, a terrifying power erupts from the immortal burning halberd and rushes into Lin Songlan's body. Bang! Under this terrifying force, Lin Kanglan's body flew out and crashed heavily into a rockery. Seeing that Lin Songlan is also seriously injured, Xing Wushuang's face immediately turns pale. She is afraid. She knows that they have lost this confrontation. Moreover, they have lost without any suspense. The situation that seemed to be a sure win has been overturned in the blink of an eye. And the person who caused this is actually an immortal dew cultivator. I can't stay here anymore. Xing Wushuang thought of running for her life, so she didn't dare to stay a moment longer. Then, Xing Wushuang makes a desperate move to get rid of Lu Yanghu and Luo Yunyang. Under Xing Wushuang's desperate attacks, Lu Yanghu and Luo Yunyang start to struggle and gradually lose control of Xing Wushuang. Mo Qingyun frowns slightly when he sees Lu Yanghu and Luo Yunyang's situation. He instructs the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle, Golden Crown, go help Captain Lu and Luo Yunyang. Don't let that person escape. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle doesn't dare hesitate and rushes toward Xing Wushuang. Soon, the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle joins the battle and helps Lu Yanghu and Luo Yunyang deal with Xing Wushuang. With the addition of the golden-crowned snake-feather eagle, Xing Wushuang, who was originally unable to suppress Luo Yunyang, gets beaten up again. Xing Wushuang, you can't escape. You'd better surrender. Seeing that Xing Wushuang is being suppressed again, Lu Yanghu shows a carefree smile and says coldly, "Back then, I saved you and helped you. Today, I will get rid of you." Lu Yanghu increases the intensity of his attacks, making Xing Wushuang's situation even more worrisome. Seeing that Lu Yanghu's situation is stable, Mo Qingyun is completely relieved and turns to look at Lin Songlan. Chapter 1353. Don't kill me. As long as you don't kill me, I'll do anything. Lin Kanglan had a pleading expression on his face as he pleaded with Mo Qingyun, hoping that Mo Qingyun would spare his life. His strength was inferior to Jing Yi and Lin Kanglan. Since both of them had been killed by Emo Qingyun, he naturally had no chance at all. Therefore, other than begging for mercy, there seemed to be nothing else he could do. You think too highly of yourself. You don't have much value to me. Emo Qingyun shook his head. His expression gradually turned cold, and his killing intent grew stronger. Sensing Emo Qingyun's killing intent, Lin Kanglin's expression turned cold, revealing a crazed expression. Emo Qingyun, if you want to kill me, you'll have to pay a painful price. Haha. Lin Kanglin laughed loudly. His aura began to soar and became extremely unstable. Seeing Lin Kanglin's behavior, Emo Qingyun's expression froze. He knew what Lin Kanglin wanted to do. Lin Kanglin wanted to self-destruct and perish together with Emo Qingyun and the others. Want to self-destruct? You won't have the chance. Emo Qingyun withdrew his immortal burning battle halberd and charged at Lin Kanglin. He raised his arms and slapped at Lin Kanglin's dantian. Under Emo Qingyun's slap, the restless aura in Lin Kanglin's body immediately dissipated. How could this be? Seeing the violent spiritual energy in his body dissipated by Emo Qingyun's slap, Lin Kanglin's face was filled with horror. However, before Lin Kanglin could recover from the shock in his heart, Emo Qingyun smashed his head with a palm strike. Lin Kanglin's head had been blasted apart by Emo Qingyun's punch, and his soul had also been destroyed. Lin Kanglin couldn't be more dead. After killing Lin Kanglin, Emo Qingyun put away his corpse and went to help Lu Yanghu and the others. At this time, Xing Wushuang was already at the end of her rope. Brother Emo, you don't have to do anything. I want to kill her myself. Seeing that Emo Qingyun had come to help him, Lu Yanghu revealed a cold expression and spoke his thoughts. Hearing this, Emo Qingyun did not make a move. He stood aside and observed the battle between Lu Yanghu and the others. The sealed door. However, in order to alleviate the pressure on Lu Yanghu and the others, Emo Qingyun used the sealing gate on Xing Wushuang. Facing Lu Yanghu and the others' joint attack, Xing Wushuang was powerless and was directly struck by the sealed door. After being struck by the sealed gate, Xing Wushuang's cultivation base was immediately sealed. She immediately fell out of the true immortal stage. As Xing Wushuang's cultivation was sealed, her situation became more and more dangerous. She was gradually overwhelmed by the attacks of Lu Yanghu and the others. Bang bang bang. Not long after, Xing Wushuang was sent flying by Lu Yanghu. She crashed heavily into a wall. Under the attacks of Lu Yanghu and the others, Xing Wushuang had lost the ability to fight. She looked at Lu Yanghu with a distressed expression. Captain Lu, I was wrong. Please give me a chance to change. Xing Wushuang looked at Lu Yanghu, who was closing in on her step by step, with a pleading expression. She looked very pitiful. Seeing Xing Wushuang's appearance, Lu Yanghu revealed an emotional expression. His expression gradually turned cold. Back then, when I first met you, you were already like this. I never imagined that after so many years, we would meet again in such a situation. Lu Yanghu sighed and continued, Perhaps I shouldn't have saved you back then and let you become what you are today. Since everything is my fault, let me put an end to it. As soon as Lu Yanghu finished speaking, he attacked Xing Wushuang. He slammed his palm down on Xing Wushuang's head. Under Lu Yanghu's palm, Xing Wushuang's eyes gradually turned hollow. She fell to the ground with a look of despair. Xing Wushuang was dead. Cha Zhuang, bury her. Lu Yanghu had killed Xing Wushuang. His mood was very heavy as he ordered Cha Gong to bury Xing Wushuang. Lu Yanghu shot a grateful look at Emo Qingyun before he walked to the side and sat down cross-legged to regulate his breathing. Emo Qingyun could tell that in Lu Yanghu's heart, Xing Wushuang was like his daughter. Now that he had personally killed someone like that, it was inevitable that he would feel a little upset. Seeing this, Emo Qingyun gave Lu Yanghu some healing medicinal pills and didn't disturb Lu Yanghu. Cha Gong, who had received Lu Yanghu's instructions, quickly buried Xing Wushuang. Mo Qingyun could not help but feel a little regretful when he saw Cha Gong bury Xing Wushuang. A perfected immortal's corpse had been wasted just like that. However, although Mo Qingyun felt that it was a pity, he did not care too much. In just one day, he had obtained 4 perfected immortal corpses. This was enough for Mo Zai to refine for a while. If nothing unexpected happened, Mo Zai would be able to advance to the perfected immortal realm after refining their corpses. Before long, Cha Gong had dealt with Xing Wushuang's corpse and walked over to Mo Qingyun. "Brother Mo, thank you so much for this. Otherwise, Captain Lu would have really lost his life." "There's no need to thank me." Mo Qingyun shook his head and glanced at Lu Yanghu. "Captain Lu has taken care of me in the Clear Wind Prefecture and the Extreme Star Prefecture. However, this matter started because of me. I can't just stand by and do nothing." Cha Gong felt that Mo Qingyun's words made sense. However, he knew very well that even if Mo Qingyun had not helped him, it would have been understandable. "Brother Cha Gong, to prevent the 7th prince from taking his anger out on you, I will not continue to accompany you." Mo Qingyun thought of the 7th prince and said goodbye to Cha Gong so that Lu Yanghu would not be implicated again. Cha Gong glanced at Mo Qingyun and nodded at Mo Qingyun. "That's good too. You have to be careful. Pring Li and the others are no match for the 7th prince's strength. Don't worry. Although I'm not confident that I can defeat the 7th prince, it won't be difficult for me to stay alive." Mo Qingyun smiled faintly. He was not afraid of the 7th prince at all. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, he might be able to defeat the 7th prince if he revealed all his trump cards. Of course, Mo Qingyun did not want to cross swords with the 7th prince unless he had no other choice. After that, Mo Qingyun gave Cha Gong some instructions before parting ways with Cha Gong. After separating from the two, Mo Qingyun did not stop walking. He continued walking toward the depths of the Heavenly Eye Prefecture. He was determined to obtain the inheritance of the Heavenly Eye Prefecture. Because of these delays, Mo Qingyun had fallen behind. He had to catch up as soon as possible. Hidden door. Traceless demon shadow. In order to save time, Mo Qingyun concealed himself and increased his speed to the maximum. Thanks to the hidden door, Mo Qingyun was unimpeded. He overtook the people in front of him one by one. About half a day later, a huge eyeball palace appeared before Mo Qingyun's eyes. This was the location of the Heavenly Eye Prefecture's inheritance. Many people were standing in front of the eyeball palace, looking for a way to obtain the inheritance. Chapter 1354. Mo Qingyun looked around and saw the 7th prince in the crowd outside the Palace of Eyeballs. The 7th prince was the same as everyone else. He was trying to get the recognition of the Palace of Eyeballs. Unfortunately, no matter how hard the 7th prince tried, there was no response from the Palace of Eyeballs. On the contrary, some people who were not very powerful managed to resonate with the Palace of Eyeballs. With such a comparison, Mo Qingyun found the key point. Those who resonated with the Palace of Eyeballs seemed to have the bloodline of eyeballs. It seems that to get the recognition of the Palace of Eyeballs, one must have the bloodline of eyeballs. Mo Qingyun smiled when he found the recognition criteria of the Palace of Eyeballs. He knew how to enter the Palace of Eyeballs. With his bloodline of Heavenly Soul Demon Clan, it was not difficult for him to get the recognition of the Palace of Eyeballs. In comparison, the 7th prince who did not have the bloodline of eyeballs was not destined to get the inheritance. After a while, some people with stronger bloodline of eyeballs were recognized by the Palace of Eyeballs and were sucked into the Palace of Eyeballs. Seeing people being recognized by the Palace of Eyeballs and successfully entering the Palace of Eyeballs, Mo Qingyun did not waste any more time and tried to get the recognition of the Palace of Eyeballs. Boom boom boom, Mo Qingyun, had just activated the heavenly soul demon eye when the Palace of Eyeballs shook violently and produced a strong resonance. After successfully resonating with the Palace of Eyeballs, Mo Qingyun's hidden figure gradually appeared. Seeing the Eyeball Palace shake violently, the surrounding people were shocked. They were frightened by this scene. Who was it? How could the Palace of Eyeballs cause such a huge commotion? Then, everyone looked around to find the person who caused the commotion. It's him. After a while, everyone's eyes fell on Mo Qingyun and they immediately recognized Mo Qingyun. When everyone recognized Mo Qingyun, they were all dumbfounded. They couldn't believe that this was real. They did not expect that the person who caused the Palace of Eyeballs to resonate was the guy who went against the seventh prince. Kid, it's you. Seeing that Mo Qingyun caused the Palace of Eyeballs to resonate, the seventh prince was jealous and a strong killing intent exploded from his body. He couldn't accept that the kid who had played with him before could also resonate with the Eyeball Palace. Furthermore, from the looks of it, Mo Qingyun's resonance with the Eyeball Palace seemed to be the strongest among all of them. In other words, among all the people who entered the palace, Missouri Qingyun had the highest chance of obtaining the inheritance. Thinking of this, the seventh prince's face turned even uglier. His expression instantly turned ferocious. Brat, even if you get the recognition of the Palace of Eyeballs, you still can't enter the Palace of Eyeballs. Rivers of blood filled the sky. The seventh prince struck out with his palm, and a shocking wave of blood-colored spiritual power instantly erupted from his palm. Then, the sky above Mo Qingyun was covered by this blood-red spiritual energy, turning the light into a blood-red color. As this blood-colored spiritual power approached, Mo Qingyun felt the surrounding air become suffused with an intense pressure of blood qi. But at this time, a dazzling beam of light suddenly shot out from the Eyeball Palace. When this dazzling beam of light appeared, it pierced through the blood-colored spiritual energy and shone on Mo Qingyun's body. When the beam of light shone on Mo Qingyun's body, it emitted a mysterious power and brought Mo Qingyun into the Palace of Eyeballs. Then, Mo Qingyun easily passed through the blood-colored spiritual energy under the guidance of the beam of light. It seems that you still can't do anything to me this time. Mo Qingyun passed through the blood-colored spiritual energy and glanced at the seventh prince with contempt before entering the Palace of Eyeballs. Seeing Mo Qingyun enter the Palace of Eyeballs, the seventh prince was so angry that his body trembled. His face kept twitching. Brat, even if you enter the Palace of Eyeballs and obtain the inheritance, I will still kill you. After the seventh prince finished speaking, he sat down in front of the Palace of Eyeballs and made a waiting posture. It seemed that the seventh prince was waiting for Mo Qingyun to come out, then he would kill Mo Qingyun. Seeing the seventh prince's action, some people showed flattering smiles and began to flatter the seventh prince. The seventh prince is wise. You stay here and guard that brat. When the time comes, he will definitely not be able to escape. When the time comes, no matter what treasure that brat obtains, it will all belong to the seventh prince. In other words, all of that brat's efforts now are all contributions to the seventh prince. Hearing everyone's words, the seventh prince's expression turned better and the sneer on his face became more obvious. It seemed that he had the same attitude towards everyone's point of view. Inside the Palace of Eyeballs, under the guidance of the beam of light, Mo Qingyun entered the Palace of Eyeballs and came to a spacious hall. At this moment, there were already many people in this hall. Their expressions were tense as they looked at the stone door at the top of the hall. Above this huge stone door, there was a gray stone eyeball that emitted a powerful soul power. This powerful soul force just happened to block the entrance of the stone door. It seemed that if he wanted to pass through the stone door, he would have to withstand the impact of this soul power. It's him. When Mo Qingyun was looking at the stone door, an Immortal Core stage youth looked at Mo Qingyun with a shocked expression. Then, his gaze turned gloomy as he looked at Mo Qingyun. There was a hint of killing intent in his eyes. However, this youth did not approach Mo Qingyun. Instead, he quickly sneaked into the crowd. Feeling the cold gaze, Mo Qingyun could not help but turn his head to look for the person who was hostile to him. Unfortunately, when Mo Qingyun turned his head, the youth had already sneaked into the crowd. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun turned his head and continued to look at the stone door. Seeing Mo Qingyun's gaze move away from where he was standing, the youth who sneaked into the crowd looked at Mo Qingyun again and said coldly, "Mo Qingyun, you caused me to possess a body to cultivate again. I will definitely take revenge for this." After the youth's resentful words, he walked to the front of the crowd and tried to pass through the stone door. Although his cultivation was not high, his soul power was not weak. Not long after, he passed through the stone door. Then, as time passed, more and more people passed through the stone door. After about 15 minutes, it was finally Mo Qingyun's turn. Mo Qingyun's body flashed a few times, and he arrived in front of the stone door. He was attacked by the soul power. "Break!" Mo Qingyun shouted angrily and used the soul power in his sea of consciousness to resist the soul power that invaded his body. Soon, the soul power that invaded Mo Qingyun's sea of consciousness was destroyed by Mo Qingyun. Chapter 1355. After passing through the stone door, Mo Qingyun came to a formation. In the sky above the formation, there was a hazy eye that gave people a very illusory feeling. Formation? Formation? Looking at the flickering formation runes around him, Mo Qingyun's expression was stunned. He was a little surprised by the situation. However, before Mo Qingyun could figure it out, he saw the eye flash and the scene in front of him changed. He saw Long Hanyan, Murong Qinyu, Yiwio, all the girls appeared beside him, living in a paradise with him. There were also a few children playing around. They looked a little similar to Mo Qingyun. Han Yen, Qinyu, Wuyo and children? Looking at the scene in front of him, he couldn't help but be fascinated. His mind gradually became intoxicated. At this moment the feeling was so real. It was almost as if it was real. Of course, more importantly, Mo Qingyun knew that he was a fake, but he was still unwilling to leave. This was the most dangerous part. Buzz. Now, when Mo Qingyun was intoxicated, the light gate martial spirit throbbed and emitted a mysterious power. This power seeped into Mo Qingyun's sea of consciousness. Suddenly, Mo Qingyun's mind shook and his consciousness separated from the environment. What a terrifying illusory realm power! It actually made me sink in an instant. After withdrawing from the illusory realm, Mo Qingyun felt a lingering fear. A chill ran down his spine. If I fell into such an illusory realm during a fight, I would have died. However, thinking of the identity of the owner of the Divine Talent Mansion, Mo Qingyun felt relieved. The other party was an existence that surpassed the golden immortal realm. It was normal for him to be able to make him sink in a trance with a thought. He can use his eyes to make people's consciousness enter an illusory realm. This is much more powerful than the iron chain prison. Recalling the power of the illusory array earlier, Mo Qingyun's reverence for the Deva-I divine manners master deepened. At the same time, Mo Qingyun was looking forward to the inheritance of the divine eye prefecture. As Mo Qingyun broke away from the illusion, the scene in front of him returned to normal, turning into a long walkway. Then, Mo Qingyun's footsteps did not stop as he walked deeper into the corridor. Soon, Mo Qingyun arrived at a cultivation room and saw a dazzling scene of cultivation. This cultivation image was an image of countless cultivation images stacked together. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun began to ponder, trying to guess what the cultivation image was testing. As Mo Qingyun pondered this, he saw a teleportation portal beside the cultivation projection. This portal was a little special. The aura it emitted was constantly changing. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun's face lit up with curiosity as he carefully observed the teleportation portal. After observing it for a while, Mo Qingyun had a general understanding of the teleportation portal's function. If I'm not wrong, to activate this teleportation portal, one must learn the mystique and immortal art from the cultivation projection. Only by using one of these mystiques and immortal arts can the teleportation portal be activated. If that's the case, this stage should be testing one's memory. After deducing the function of the cultivation projection and the teleportation portal, Mo Qingyun had a general understanding of this stage's test. Immediately after, Mo Qingyun focused on watching the cultivation video and memorizing every scene of the cultivation video. Due to the fact that the cultivation projections overlap too much, there were at least 1,000 of them being played together. Therefore, it was impossible for him to memorize the cultivation images in one go. However, Mo Qingyun did not give up just because of this. Instead, he patiently observed the cultivation projection. Fortunately, the immortal arts and mystiques in the cultivation projection were not of a particularly high grade, so they were not difficult to memorize. Therefore, as time passed, Mo Qingyun memorized more and more images. After a few hours, Mo Qingyun finally memorized an immortal art through his tireless efforts. Then, Mo Qingyun began to cultivate this immortal art. He was going to use it to activate the teleportation portal later. To save time, Mo Qingyun first set up a time-shifting array before he started cultivating the immortal art. Although it was only a time-shifting array, it would be of great help to Mo Qingyun. A day later, with the help of the time-shifting array, Mo Qingyun successfully cultivated the immortal art. Seeing that he had successfully cultivated the immortal art, Mo Qingyun walked towards the teleportation portal and used the immortal art to activate the portal. Just as Mo Qingyun had guessed, in order to activate the teleportation portal, he had to master the immortal art or mystique in the cultivation projection. Seeing that the teleportation portal was activated, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and he successfully passed through the portal. Whoosh! After a while, Mo Qingyun saw clearly that he had arrived at a high platform. The platform was very large, at least the size of 10 football fields. There were arrays set up around it. As soon as Mo Qingyun entered the platform, a shocking power of the array was added to his body. Under the suppression of the array, Mo Qingyun immediately realized that the immortal spiritual energy in his body was sealed by the power of the array. This gave Mo Qingyun quite a fright. If he could not use his immortal spiritual energy, wouldn't that mean that he had lost his ability to fight? Someone's finally here. While Mo Qingyun was still in shock, a cold voice came from the front, attracting Mo Qingyun's attention. Not far ahead, a black-clothed youth slowly stood up and looked at Mo Qingyun with a cold expression. "I'm the Bloodline Battle Power Tests candidate. You'll only be qualified to enter the Land of Inheritance if you defeat me. Make your move." Hearing the black-clothed youth's words, Mo Qingyun did not waste any more words with him and made a gesture of invitation. Lightning Spiritual Eye. Seeing Mo Qingyun's move, the black-clothed youth activated the power of his bloodline and began to attack Mo Qingyun. A silver lightning bolt instantly blasted out from the youth's eyes and blasted towards Mo Qingyun. Seeing the black-clothed youth's attack, Mo Qingyun's expression froze. He knew how to attack. If nothing unexpected happened, in the array on the platform, only the eyes could be used to fight. After understanding how to fight, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately activated the Heavenly Soul Magic Eye to counterattack. Glare Blade Light. A green light shot out from Mo Qingyun's eyes and blasted towards the black-clothed youth. "Humph! This level of attack can't hurt me." Seeing Mo Qingyun's glare blade light, the black-clothed youth showed disdain and looked down on Mo Qingyun. Boom! The glare blade light and the silver lightning glare collided and immediately produced a loud sound, creating a storm of energy. At the same time, the black-clothed youth's attack was blocked by Mo Qingyun. Chapter 1356. Iron Chain Cage. A black mist-like soul power shot out from Emo Qingyun's left eye and turned into black soul iron chains. The soul iron chains were extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, they had entered the young man's sea of consciousness. This is, after being hit by the iron chain cage, the young man was stunned. His face was filled with shock. At the same time, the young man's consciousness was momentarily dazed. I light blade. Seeing that the young man was in a daze, Emo Qingyun did not hesitate and hurriedly shot a eye light at the young man. Then, a green saber light blasted toward the black-clothed young man at high speed. At this moment the young man was in a daze. He did not notice Emo Qingyun's attack at all. Poochie! Then, the young man's neck was cut off by the eye light blade. You actually killed me! After his neck was cut off, the young man regained consciousness. He looked at Emo Qingyun in shock. Even in death, he would never have imagined that Emo Qingyun would be able to kill him in a moment of carelessness. After a while, the young man's body dissipated in midair. It turned out that the young man was only a consciousness body. After the young man was killed, the array around the high platform was gradually opened. A passage appeared in front of Emo Qingyun. After seeing this passage, Emo Qingyun did not stop walking. He hurriedly walked into the passage. After a while, Emo Qingyun came to a secret room and saw a stalwart man. In this secret room, Emo Qingyun saw two young men approaching the stalwart man. Emo Qingyun's sudden appearance immediately attracted the two's attention. Emo Qingyun. When the two saw Emo Qingyun, they were shocked. Their faces darkened and they emitted a strong killing intent. Sensing the killing intent from the two, Emo Qingyun's expression froze. He was shocked. They want to kill me? I don't think I know them? After a short moment of surprise, Emo Qingyun calmed the shock in his heart and sensed the cultivation of the two. One is at the Great Circle of the Immortal Core Realm, and the other is at the Minor Star Realm. After learning of their cultivation, Emo Qingyun's expression eased up slightly. He thought to himself, dealing with lesser star experts might be a little troublesome, but it's not like I can't deal with them. Captain Yanqing, this kid is Emo Qingyun. He was the one who saved Lu Yonghu last time. The Immortal Core stage youth stared coldly at Emo Qingyun as he explained to the people beside him. Yan Ming's face turns dark and cold. Jing Yi, don't worry. Since you already surrendered to me, of course I'll avenge you. Moreover, this guy is on the same side as Lu Yonghu. Jing Yi? Hearing Yan Cheng's words, Emo Qingyun frowned and looked at the Immortal Core stage youth. Very quickly, Emo Qingyun understood what was going on. He smiled coldly. Jing Yi, so it's you. It seems that when I entered the Eye Palace, I sensed a cold aura. It should be from you, right? So what? Jing Yi doesn't show any sign of weakness. He raises his head and points at Captain Yen. Captain Yen is the second strongest person in God government. Emo Qingyun, today you meet him, today you will die for sure. I don't think so. Emo Qingyun smiles faintly and glances at both of them. There's no harm in telling you guys. As long as you guys are not great star-level cultivators, it's all the same to me. Shameless boasting. Yan Cheng was enraged when he heard Emo Qingyun's arrogant words. He looked at Emo Qingyun with a ferocious expression and said, Brat, let me see how strong you are. God Eye Eagle Star Position. As soon as Yen Kuei attacked, he took out the star position and activated the power of the star position. It seemed that he knew Emo Qingyun's true power from Jing Yi. Otherwise, with his lesser star position strength, he wouldn't need to spend so much effort to deal with an immortal dew stage cultivator. Kid, I know that you are very strong. As long as I don't give you time to use it, you won't be able to do anything. Yen Luo activated the star position and rushed toward Emo Qingyun at top speed. Divine Earth Shield. Seeing Yan Cheng's action, Emo Qingyun didn't dare to be careless. He used the Divine Earth Shield to defend himself. Very quickly, A huge yellow shield appeared in front of Yan Qing and blocked his path. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed as he blocked Yan Su's path. He quickly put some distance between them. Blood Qi Berserk, God of War Transformation. As Mo Qingyun retreated, he also used 2 divine abilities to increase his power. After a while, Mo Qingyun's aura reached the level of Immortal Infant stage. At this moment, while Mo Qingyun was dodging, Jing Yi approached with a sinister smile. Mo Qingyun, die. Divine ability, Sky Edge Destruction. Under Jing Yi's attack, a cyan sword light appeared and attacked Mo Qingyun's back. The cyan sword light was very fast. In addition, it was very close to Mo Qingyun. In an instant, it hit Mo Qingyun. Clang! Mo Qingyun was hit by Jing Yi's attack. A crisp sound came from his body. He didn't seem to be injured at all. Seeing this, Jing Yi's eyes widened. He couldn't believe it. Even if he was reborn, his cultivation was only at the immortal core stage. However, with his current cultivation base, it was still possible for him to kill an immortal infant stage cultivator if he were to launch a surprise attack. But Mo Qingyun was hit by his attack. Not only was he not injured, he didn't even lose a single strand of hair. This was simply too bizarre. How can this be? Jing Yi's eyes widened. He couldn't accept this. Sneak attack? Seeing Jing Yi's action, Mo Qingyun's face sunk. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Since you want to die, I'll kill you first. Star Position Divine Punch. After Mo Qingyun said that, he punched at Jing Yi. Under Mo Qingyun's powerful attack, plus Jing Yi's panic, he just forgets to dodge. No.